I think
I'm always on the other side. Let me see.
We are live, fam. So let's see. I want to make this big. See if I can still see.
You should
everything.
be able to see the questions on there. Can you see the questions on there?
Hi, chat.
No, don't hide it. We need to see the button. The idea is to have the questions pop up.
I got you, babe.
You just have to click.
Yeah, if you guys are tapped in here with us, man, give us a second. We're getting situated. I see we got 4 people.
It's good, Hotshot Mac family. Let me see if it's live yet. Let me see. Okay.
It's showing us live. I'm just waiting to see. I'm just waiting to see if.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if
we get the questions. There you go.
Okay.
There it is. You just hit show. What's good? Appreciate y'all, fam. Well, shoot, man. First off, I appreciate y'all for taking the time.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you for just live. Letting me know you wanted to go ahead and get this live going on. I know we talked about this jump for a while, bro.
Yeah, but we running businesses, so
exactly.
Finding the time and
multiple, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
You good, man?
Yeah, I was just trying to get closer. I feel like I was.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? I see everybody jumping in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like you guys have been seeing, if you guys have either seen the post on Instagram or on YouTube, haven't done this in a while. This is probably the second time we're actually doing a live.
Second time.
On YouTube, and we feel like doing this one with Mike was gonna be cool because we've always chopped it up and had a lot of stuff that we relate with, and just coming in and sharing both sides and how we do things differently and things like that. I think it'll definitely add value to people out there in the community and stuff. So
exactly, again, man, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. And this is actually Maya's first time on camera too. So
yes, it is.
Okay.
Looking like a
behind the scenes.
Yeah, man. I gotta turn this AC on. You turned it off?
Yeah, I kind of did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. For everybody tuning in, it's Entre Mike. Well, Entre short for entrepreneur. Right now, this Entre Maya. She ain't got no name right now, but
she
probably gonna be Entre Mike.
Okay.
I like that when I see
Entre Mike, I like it.
I like the Entre way, man. Like everybody on here Entre, bro. We all entrepreneurs.
No, I love
you know what I'm saying? We striving to be one. So, yeah.
That's what's
I see people tapping in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for joining in.
What's good, Clint?
We got people from Texas. We have Big Dog.
Hotshot Slim. What's up?
I think I've seen Slim before.
Yeah. What's going on?
They love the Flash. Was good, man. I just seen your most recent video. Yeah. That boy be doing numbers over there, dog.
Who's that? Big Dog.
Who you say, Mike?
I was talking about J Love.
Oh yeah. You in here?
Well, that set up so nice, dude.
Oh yeah, J Love. Yeah. That's what's up, man. But appreciate you guys for coming in, man. We're gonna probably jump right into it, and like we've been sharing, it's just gonna be pretty much like an open conversation. We're gonna be answering questions that you guys may have. But also just touching some of the topics that are relative to what's going on in the industry. What is it like? There's a lot of people out there that work in partnership with their wife, their spouse, their partner.
Yeah.
And we want to just touch on some things and talk about how we've been able to kind of manage through the process and just the journey overall. And then how do we maintain, through the lifestyle and the change and the constant changes and things like that. So we'll jump from there. Big Six was good. Big Dog, I see y'all in here, man.
Just let me know how you want to go into it, because like I said, I want to just start off. If I was speaking on our situation, of course, so really everybody's situation is just the importance of family and having time. Because I've only been OTR by myself so far for about 4 months now. In the first 2 to 3 months, I was just OTR. You know what I mean? And the money looks good when you're just straight over the road week after week.
You
know what I mean? 2 weeks without being at home at a time, it can be stressful sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
You I know for us when we started, because we were always together, prior to doing Hotshot. And when I went over the road, we were clashing, man. We were arguing about certain
things. It be like that on the road and off the road, man.
She felt like I wasn't giving her the time of the day. I'm like, babe, I just got done driving. It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Chill. I ain't really trying to get no deep comment. She would think I was like dismissing her. I'm like, nah, babe, that's not even it. But over time, it's not even that it gets easier, because even now it's even harder to leave. But as far as we know the mission, and we know what our end goal is. and why we're making these sacrifices. So we just kind of have to, make it do the obstacles as we go. So
I think one thing that has helped us get through this or get through the time away is really understanding our goals and really putting that into perspective and having open conversations on the daily. And we make it intentional to really check on each other and be like, all right, babe, how you doing?
Exactly.
I think making it intentional and really checking on each other's whether stress level, how we doing, what do we need help with, am I meeting your needs, and vice versa.
Exactly.
That's really what's been helping us get through this, because if those open conversations are not there, it can definitely make it seem like life is busy. You know what I mean? I don't have time. And at the end of the day, without us, none of this will be possible. So we're really big on really protecting our energy, meaning him and me and our union, which is the most important thing besides
because you got to kind of have that, like we talked about this really recently, probably a couple of days ago. I noticed she used to always ask questions, and I noticed that women tend to do that a lot because they got to fall into their role, because us as men, we are natural leaders, you know what I mean? So, and we got a lot on our plate to have all the responsibilities of all the bills in the business, all the like personal bills. She's calling me 2 months ago telling me, hey, my car won't crank. So I'm coming home on the weekend and change the battery out, a couple coils, stuff like that. Like, you still got to be a man. Yeah. And then you're still a truck driver. So it's hard to kind of like combine both of them sometimes.
Yeah. And I think kind of like what Mila what she was saying, though, is you're right. You do have to kind of check in on each other mentally. Like he just mentioned, I sometimes have to ask him, like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, we still doing this trucker thing? How you feeling? Like, checking in on him just to keep his mind straight, keep his head straight. He does the same, keeping my head straight as far as on the logistics side and the dispatch. And so you need that, especially with being entrepreneurs and having these goals that we do have, and we realize it's not gonna happen overnight at all, and it ain't gonna happen without both of us being, mentally prepared for all the stress and all of the changes that will come through it. So
you nailed it. That's for real, 100%. Yeah. We not gonna lie, we've had our tough moments, tough tugs, where we're like, excuse my language, F this, and we're like, we ain't gonna do this fucking thing no more. F, we're gonna go back. But then we realize it's like, it's just that moment where you kind of just have to kind of release and really bring back yourself. And it's like conditioning, just like you have to condition. Just the way I relate to not only business but our marriage, it's like, think of a garden. You have to constantly water it for the garden to stay alive, for the flowers to continue to bloom in spring and fall, right? So in a business, if you're not constantly pouring into it, whether it's you educating yourself with financial literacy, whether it's you educating yourself in whatever it is that you want to advance in your business, learning new skills, learning YouTube, learning how to set up a StreamYard, just basic, right? Like that's knowledge, and right there.
Those are the things that kind of leads to like where it gets to like, all right, it's just not just trucking. I'm opening up my mind to other avenues.
It's a lifestyle, bro.
Other areas that you can probably, other streams of income, because, you don't want to, like, everyone says, just have all your eggs in one basket. You want to have different options when the market's going to change regardless, no matter what industry you're in, whether it goes up, whether it goes down. So it's just being mindful of those things and being on the same page to where we can kind of, if we're on the same page and moving that energy together, then it's just more able to happen. So
I just love the fact that just to see couples in the minority space, trucking and the logistics, and we're doing thing, you know what I mean? Whether we start with like Hotshot Trucking, dispatching, but this opens up a whole different avenue, not only income, but hopefully and eventually having that financial freedom that we are all looking for. Me and Tim, I come from a very poor background. When I'm talking about poor, like rice and ketchup, that's what we ate growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Never heard of that combo.
Right. So really being able to open our mind and learn about financial literacy. Like I had no knowledge of financial literacy, investment, buying properties and all that all this opens up. And this is just, I'm talking about years of us pouring into entrepreneurship, because this is not our first rodeo. Being entrepreneurs for years, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it really has given us the opportunity to build and grow to be able to be where we're at right now.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Next. One thing I didn't want to get into real quick, and it's a question for you guys, and we can kind of do vice versa. Like, how are you guys managing roles and things like that within the business? And not just trucking, because you guys have other, endeavors and things.
Dispatching.
Dispatching, YouTube, social media, things like that. So how do you guys find a balance and where you guys can respectfully, okay, I'm not gonna step on your toe, you ain't gonna step on
man, yeah. Okay, so
be working on that, man.
I'll get into it first. So for trucking, my responsibility is just, for the most part, picking up loads, securing, and dropping it off. Me personally, I just don't like to deal with any paperwork. That's just me. Like, I don't like the invoice uploading. I'll do it if I have to. She take care of invoice uploading, booking the loads for the most part. Because, mainly with driving, and I talked to you the other day, I was like, it's important for hotshot drivers to know, for the most part, when we're driving and unloading and loading, we don't really have time to book loads unless we're resetting. So, and a load board is only open from, 8 to 5 for the most part. So unless you're just going to be booking loads while you're driving, 9 times out of 10, when you're new and you're inexperienced in this market, you're going to need a dispatcher. But it's also the smaller things. Like, we know that time is so important. So, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
how you going to deal with, you got to you got to pick up 2 hours away and you just drop the load. Do you really feel like uploading all of that stuff to RTS? You know what I mean? At the time, and looking for another load when somebody else can be doing that for you. Yeah. And just staying ahead. So, like I said, I just deal with, like it's down here like I'm a company
maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah. And she kind of worries about all of the background stuff.
Yeah.
And for dispatching. Oh, go ahead.
No, my bad. I was just gonna say, and with what you were saying, piggybacking off that, and that just creates efficiency and safety and
exactly,
not having to kind of deal with. I mean, I know there's people that do it over the road and they do everything themselves. Not everyone has the luxury of having a partner or a spouse or something.
Exactly. Y'all a beast though.
Yeah, so it's
the feeling is mutual. I think it's just a beautiful thing to kind of see couples and partners working together. Period. That's just,
as long as everything, of course, the safety, and then if you don't have that, like, try to outsource certain things. You trying to do everything yourself in this, I feel like you're gonna be missing a few things, and then longevity gets kind of put.
To kind of touch on that, I think where they talk about the percentage of rate of trucking companies failing, right? And if you want to kind of narrow it down, talking about minority, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us don't come from any financial background, any business background, or any friends that own any businesses, right? So when you're not only starting a business, but for that matter, a trucking business that requires so much, not only time, compliance, back office, paperwork that needs to be able to manage. One thing that I always say when we have our consultations with people that are coming into the industry is just really, I would encourage start reading some books on financial literacy, business management, sales, how to negotiate, because at the end of the day, those are all skills that you need. If you're dispatching yourself, you need to have negotiation skills, right? If you're starting a business, you have to have some kind of business awareness. If not,
you gotta at least be good with numbers.
You get a degree for it, but you gotta have some
invest in yourself, whether it's taking on classes. There's so many classes out there for free that actually the SBA loans provide as far as financial literacy and business startups. Get yourself in those programs, invest in yourself, put in time into that, so that way you not only growing your company, but you're growing yourself as a whole. That to me, that's super important and something to really stand for. It's just really in investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm. And to piggyback off of what you guys were saying as well, with him being over the road and with me in the beginning being with him and experiencing all of the new things with him, as far as the tarp and the drive and the
She was working for that 10%.
Just seeing the reckless drivers on the road, or just all of the things that comes with the actual trucking side.
Finding parking, bro, it was so hard, man. Like, because at first I was sleeping in hotels, and like with my cost to operate then, where fuel was, you could actually afford to sleep in a hotel every night, and I'm still, like I said, without sleeping in hotels, the profit is darn near the same, just because fuel has impacted, maybe a little better still, but fuel has impacted the industry a lot.
Yeah. It has.
So did that open up your eyes to kind of see more of what that side looks like while being out there?
What's that? Like my personal stuff?
When Maya was out on the road with you.
Oh yeah, it did, man. It did. I mean,
seeing based on this was for Maya.
You said what now?
Based off of what you were just saying, while you were out there seeing, what was going on, did that kind of open up your eyes to kind of see what Mike deals with out here on the road?
It did, because in the beginning he started off with the box truck, so I was not over the road at all. I was just on the phone, FaceTime, hey, what you doing? Not really knowing anything really. Yeah. So actually getting out there with him though, I seen everything. So I'm just like, okay, like this is a business. You can't drive and handle everything else at the same time. So I already knew, just visually seeing it, that I was going to be doing the logistics side. And I had no problem with that though, because we had, like I said, we talked about the goals and where we want to be. We're young. We're 23, about to be 24, so we're very young.
Yeah.
So in order to get to where we wanted to be, I understood. Well, we both understood. Yeah. If he's going to be driving, I'm going to be handling the logistics and kind of what Mila was talking about as far as learning about taxes. I've never had a business, so I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Learning about the different loans out there.
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve for me as well.
Created everything. I think for me, when I go on the road with him, it just gave me at the beginning a whole different perspective and a whole different respect, not only for truckers but for the lifestyle and for him and the sacrifice that he's making for the family. Because at the end of the day, I'm working, but I'm home in AC in my chair, and he's out there sleeping in the truck. Finding a place to sleep. And that's one thing that at the beginning I couldn't really understand, where I was like, babe, why you not calling me? Like, I honestly, internally, I had this fear where, babe, you're black with dreads, you're on the road. I don't know where you're going to be at. You might be on the wrong side. Like, just let me know that you're safe. That's really what I was thinking.
That too. I was like, babe, I can't tell you every pickup, every drop off, every stop. I was like, babe, chill.
So
let's see, Mac, you better than me, dude.
I learned to really calm myself down and kind of really tell myself, like, okay, he got this. God forbid something happens, I would know. And then we track each other with we
share our location.
We share our location just in case for any emergencies or safety where he's not able to talk. At least I know, okay, this is where his last location was pinned. And even with Keep Trucking, you're able to see that, but it gives me a different, I guess, I don't know.
Security, probably.
Security, yeah.
Let me look at some of these comments. So just we got some stuff coming in based off of the topic that we're talking about right now. And I just want to touch on some of them. This is off topic. Big Dog put in, yo, Hotshot Matt, what's going on? I see you guys looking for owner operators. I have my own equipment. So based off of that, Big Dog, we have a link in the description where you can fill out an inquiry and we will get back to you and pretty much see if we align for business. So you can check that out. Hotshot Slim said, what's good?
What's good, Slim?
Chrissy, it's Chrissy. Chrissy and Slim. Chrissy and Slim are another good team, man. Another couple out there that we met.
Hope to meet them one day.
We you know what? We need to bring them up in a live one time. So
we gotta get like I'm looking forward to like a meetup at some point.
Okay.
Yes. But
I love that y'all touched on the personal growth, man. Because me and Maya, we got books too. I know she's been reading How to Think and Grow Rich. Right. I've been reading on like personal development type of books. Really just, trying to learn how to quote unquote be a man. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Hold on, man. Let me just go run through some of these real quick.
Got J Love in the building.
Yeah, J Love, what's good? What's popping? Big dog out of Louisiana. Got what is this? Ronald Barnes, man. I'm a DoorDash driver right now, but I'm saving up to get a truck so I can do Hotshot. That's what's up, man. Just do that research alongside that. Make sure you research the type of equipment you're about to get. Have enough money saved up, man. Alan G, what up, fam? What's going on? I think I saw Big Six. What's good? Y'all are so motivating for me and my wife. Appreciate hearing that, man. And that's kind of like why we do these too, man, just so that we can encourage other couples to work together more and show that it's also possible. I'm learning a lot to become a hotshot driver soon. That's dope, Solo King. This is a positive thing that Mario says. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we got TP in the building.
Yeah, I seen TP. I was getting back down to him, man. He says, either if he's still on, do either of you have kids?
No, we don't.
We don't get with that. Like, yeah, y'all ain't got no kids. Like,
nah.
Hey man, we got a little Frenchie. She's a lot. She's just like a little human. But that's a huge thing too, man. Having kids or not with doing that, that's just a whole other, ball game.
It's just a sense of responsibility. It just adds another responsibility to your plate. So if you don't got your personal responsibilities lined up, it's gonna kick you in the face once you start your business. I don't mean to say it negatively, but no,
that's a fact, man.
You should at least have a budget for your regular, how you living now with a 9-to-5 job, rather than coming out here and trying to do everything. It's gonna hit you in the face hard.
It's good to talk while driving safely on the road. Waterworks.
Oh yeah,
that's a fact, man. Be hands free.
Oh yeah.
What's good, family? Will, what's going on, Will? Anthony says this is also important, man. Mental health is important, especially being OT.
Having somebody to talk to, boy. Having somebody to talk to, especially on them late nights, boy.
Trust me. So again, the best hire my company made was my
facts.
The best hire.
Man, that's a fact statement, man. Someone else says, "Are you guys hosting a securement training anytime soon?" That's in the works, man. We're getting a lot of questions about it. It is definitely something in the works that we're going to be putting together. But for now, if you're in the Houston area, my dog, not Hotshot, Big Six Wheels, man, go check him out. He does securement classes right now. Let's see, fresh meat at truck stops. Not sure what that means. Larry,
I don't even want to know what that means.
Fresh meat at truck stops. Yeah, I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. Mike from Tuxedo Transport. What's going on?
Hey, Aaron.
What's good, Aaron?
From Tuxedo Transport.
Yeah. Domino Certified was good. Let's see if we got any more questions, man. We're probably gonna jump into the next topic on our title and kind of just go from there.
Man, let's talk about people quitting, man. Why you think people quit? What would be your reason if you felt like?
I think for many reasons. Right now, the majority is just I guess I would say the word, inflation. Things are, skyrocketing, and people haven't really planned for it in a sense, or the way they move or the way they operate, or they're just not organized, or, they don't have a structure, or whatever the case is. There's a few different things that could, why people quit. If they've started out with just having an authority, I mean, that alone right there. And if you're doing it alone, that's a lot to manage, a lot to handle. It's stress. Sometimes, I've asked myself a question sometimes, like, man, is this stress worth it sometimes? Or is this, I'm human. So I go through those thoughts, me losing time with family or just time from doing the things I love. And I just got to remind myself sometimes, but a lot of quitting comes from that, man. Just don't want to either deal with it. They're not probably making the turnaround they expected to. Things have changed drastically from a couple months ago when they started. And it's like, I'm out here, making all these sacrifices for what? So right now we see a lot of equipment being sold and a lot. In a sense, just like anything, people get in for the wrong reasons and not really, knowing what they're getting into, and then either watching themselves out or whatever the case is. I think that's like my take. And like I said, many reasons.
Not really doing their proper research, I think I will say, is the first thing. Not really understanding the sacrifices that come with being on the road. A lot of people see social media, YouTube, you guys, they see the hype and they think, oh, this is cool, I can make a couple $1,000s a week, but they don't realize how many hours I have to put in. You know what I mean?
70 hours, man. 70 hours a week, faithfully.
They don't realize that they got to be driving for 11 hours a day, times 6 days. So once they get into that, or the work that it takes to secure a load,
Exactly.
I just think that.
And summer's coming up too. It's about to
Oh
be
boy, it's hot as
hot.
hell.
Sleeping in the car when it's cold, sleeping in the car when it's
I thought it was
Winter
bad
time.
tarping in the snow, but yeah, I'm telling you, I was just taking off my straps the other day. It's hot.
Bro, it's treacherous, man. Like it's treacherous, and especially like me when I first went up north in the snow. I'm from Florida. I'm not up there with the right gear. You know, my toes about to fall off. My ears feel like I'm dead serious. I got scared at one point. Like, bro, I'm not feeling my finger. Like,
Yeah.
take my ass to the truck.
What's that?
When you couldn't feel your fingers.
Oh my God, yeah, I was training
That happened to you
that
too?
track there. Oh my God, that was terrible.
Careful.
I was about to cry. It was bad. Like I said, y'all gotta have somebody to talk to when you got there, boy.
Yeah, the facts. I definitely think that sums it up. Like, you know, based on what we all said about people, you know, why people quitting, and it just revolves around, you know, so they just figured out it just wasn't for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is not for everybody. And I think I forgot who we had the conversation with. People would see, you know, 20K gross a month. They see that,
Exactly.
and that's what they're focusing
They
on.
clean.
That's all
Yeah.
they see. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm about to get to this bag. But
Yeah, they don't understand the business and the stress that go behind it too. You know what I
And
mean?
a lot of the time, they don't realize net versus gross.
Gross.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
in that gross,
It's good to get a click, man, but it's also good to like research more channels. Like I even got some breakdown videos too, where you can see that 20 go to 10 real quick, depending on how much maintenance you had that month. So
that month,
yeah. Let me get back. Let's see. These comments be going quick, man. So
yeah. Let me check
trying
it
to get love Joey Lopez. Appreciate that, man. Love watching y'all videos. Very encouraging. You guys ever drive semis before? Just curious. Never, man. I've only got my CDL in one, but I've never driven a semi.
No, not never even been in one. I've been in a Class B box truck. You know what I mean? But other than that, no.
Touch on that a little bit, Mike, if you don't mind. Like, how was that?
It wasn't bad at all. I mean, it just, like I said, even I think the dry van community right now, all rates right now are taking a hit. But I've been hearing a lot about the dry van side, box truck side. She dispatches some box trucks herself, and like I said, it was a lot of hype with that and running Amazon Relay to like kind of be at home every night. So that's kind of like what we kind of started with, but it ended up being kind of fluff. Like Amazon don't pay for deadhead miles, so if you got a load going 200 miles out, it'll probably be like a dead zone. You have to go them 200 miles back. So that rate of $500 really wasn't gonna make you enough money. But even going OTR with it, you know, they say those trucks aren't designed for them. They say the same thing for the dually. Yeah. But it was just different getting up into it. Like I used to call it the big yellow school bus because that's what it felt like I was driving when I was in it. Right. Of course, it's not as long as one, but I think the scariest part was just not knowing going up into cities like states like New Jersey, New York, or even Maryland, how low bridge clearances will be. And we weren't using truck navigation maps. So, I mean, until we started using truck navigation, man, it was just a wild ride. We went out there kind of the same way, not knowing much about the lanes, not knowing much about the rate.
No one will figure it out anyway.
Taking loads for $1.60, $1.70, not just ruining the community.
Yeah.
But it was still an experience though.
But you know what I mean? I think as long as you start somewhere and then you're searching for that knowledge and that ability to be able to do better versus continuing on that path of that cheap freight.
Man. Speaking on it, man, like with cheap freight and brokers, if you first start off and you ain't had any type of negotiating, if like when you first start off, you probably don't even realize you can negotiate on the load. Just the way they sell it. It's going 350 miles. The rate all in is $500 firm. So you may not say, hey, that rate, unless you can come up to at least 750, I'm not gonna be able to take it. Some people just green, they just gonna take that 500 and feel like, oh, the rates are trash. No, you took a trash rate. You know, you kind of got to sit it out sometimes and just keep scrolling on the cheap freight. Over time, that freight's gonna go up in value because nobody's taking it. But for the people who are taking it, they don't understand they're running the lanes now. And like I was gonna ask you about that too. Like with non CDL and CDL, where's the difference in it? Like, is it the weight to where like, okay, over 13,000 pounds, the rates aren't just at standard $2 loaded mile or 220 loaded miles, it's higher? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's a little. It's a little. I don't think there's a difference in a CDL load and a non CDL load. A load
Really?
is a load, right? A
Wow.
load is a load. It becomes what I see from my experience whenever I'm just scrolling the board or just getting an idea of what's happening in this area or whatever the case is. You'll see where even with partials, you'll see where just because the load might be a little bit heavier, they might think, okay, I may pay a little bit, but the length doesn't account for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. Sometimes with a CDL setup, I feel like it just opens up more options as far as being able to grab something, you know what I mean? Like, as far as the amounts or the quantity of loads I see, I would feel like maybe CDL has the options because of that weight restriction and that weight difference. That's about it.
Exactly.
But when it comes to like, deck space and things like that, that's going to be all the same. So the only thing that it really does is just giving you that option to scale a little bit more with the weight.
Partial a little bit more.
Yeah, and you still have to consider though, what how you're working that truck when you start increasing that weight. You know what I'm saying? How much more you put towards your maintenance, diesel and things like that. So it has its wins and it has its losses in some ways, but you just got to be kind of strategic on how you kind of maneuver through that.
I think one thing I've seen that it gives you the ability to have a little bit more freedom, and you don't have to hustle as hard. When we were operating as non CDL, like in order to make the same amount of money, like we had to run and hustle. Where now he has more flexibility.
I can see that,
to being home or going to different places or that are going to place him in a better position to start a good week and things like that.
Because the mindset,
a non CDL, if a load pops up and that's the only one CDL load and there's like 35, like you gotta take that load. It's gonna take you to that one place, so you don't really have I want, let's say for example, coming out of Houston, just for say, there's so many hotshots here, right? So it's like if there's a load going to Illinois, you better believe that load going to the Midway is gonna be gone in like half a second, right?
Exactly.
Not even a second, half a second is going to be gone. So, being able to have that flexibility to place your truck in a better areas for you to have a better week and not have to hustle as hard. I think that's one change that I've seen in the non CDL. I mean, going CDL route.
I like that.
Yeah, that's dope. We definitely got some comments coming in, man.
Okay. You can throw them up.
Yeah. First, is it possible to do hotshot in a gas truck? So I think it's possible. It's possible, but I highly don't recommend it. I've seen guys doing it.
Maybe with like a 20-foot trailer or something that's not on
like you really want to
7K axles or something like that.
Yeah, and then when you start thinking about when it's time to fuel up, you say if you got a 30-foot,
maybe a bumper pull
behind there, then you having trouble. You have to disconnect to get sometimes into the gas lanes. It's just a headache.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point, boy. It ain't no truck stops with gas.
Yeah, you're gonna end up having to try to get into where the four-wheelers go, and then now you got risk and you got, you know what I'm saying, the hazard and just problems.
They're right here.
Do they make auxiliary fuel? Well, yeah, they probably make auxiliary fuel tanks.
I'm sure they do. There's still gas in that bit.
I don't be thinking.
Yeah, I see y'all doing some wide.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Mac about that too later on.
The wide loads.
Yeah, the stress in that.
We can touch on that. We can touch on that. Let me keep going. But yeah, we definitely we love doing them, and I like the challenge.
I think the wide loads, it gives us, I think as a hotshot company, for you to diversify not only your skills, but also focus on developing what you're known for as your trucking company. I think it gives you a better diversity and a better chance to really maximize your profits in the trucking industry. Oversized load, even though you see us doing it a lot, they're not easy and they're very high risk. I know they look easy on the videos, but once you have either 3 inches, 1 foot, or whatever, on the side,
2 feet,
where it's like, it's not like, man, I'm a higher risk at possibly hitting something or causing damage.
Not even you have to also account for those drivers that are not really paying attention. Like that past wide load that we did at 15.5 foot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If you guys saw in the video, people didn't give a care. They don't care. They see this big old thing. They're trying to
think
get
they're
someplace.
invisible. They feel like their car is small. So it's like, I really going around a bend. I almost took off a person's mirror and their whole like just went through their whole window if they didn't really realize. Because by the time they pass somewhat of the load, there's still a piece that still need to be passed and go by the car. So as the car is turning, if I'm still turning that left and they're still making that swing, is a possibility that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on them back roads for real.
The widest part of the load, they're not really paying attention to that. And it really just comes down to really the way, if you think about it, even before we even came into trucking, how many times you saw an 18-wheelers making a right turn and you're like, I can try to squeeze myself through there.
Yeah.
Really, why is that 18-wheeler making that wide turn? You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. They got to.
They have the signs on there like, hey man,
they have the sign, but I mean, people don't really.
But I'm not gonna lie though, and before getting into the industry though, me personally, I would know not to go on the side of it, but I didn't understand the
going over into the other lane,
the significance of it, like and how dangerous it really is, or coming off of a truck coming off of the interstate or getting onto the interstate,
and why you gotta get over.
And him trying to get over and no one letting him over. So it's a lot of different things. It made me respect truckers more just in my car every day on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, because we are trying to keep people safe out there, boy, especially.
That's a fact.
They don't what they call them, four-wheelers?
Four-wheelers. Yeah, four-wheelers.
They don't understand that.
All right, so Luis Martinez says, do you list first-time drivers? I'm thinking, I guess, do we lease on first-time drivers?
Oh.
I mean, if that's the question, it just depends.
That's what I was trying to see. What list?
Yeah, we got certain requirements as far as on our end. Sometimes, if you guys don't mind as well, like as you guys are, asking the questions in the comments, just either throw in Macc or Mike, so we kind of have an idea of who the question is for.
Okay.
For both on here. That'll help as well.
Check myself.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. Yeah, so, but there. All right, so Will, I'm gonna start to just get caught up real quick. Do you guys plan on getting a semi for Hotshot or extending your experience to dry, reefer, tanker, hazmat? That's not in the plans for me at this time. Semi, we down the line, we plan to have semis, but not at this point.
And our niche is really flatbed. So
I'm going step. I probably go
dry
step
vans or any reefers. That's not really an area that we want to go in. So.
So this is a good one, Alan G. I want to get into the hotshot business, but everyone quitting, making me rethink it. I'm still trying to stay motivated. And I think we touched on this a little bit too. Like, it's still
you touch on it.
Go ahead, man. Because it's still the positive side of things.
So it's just gonna all depend on you, your mindset, and your support system. If you got a support system that's willing to help you invest into whatever you want to do, or if you're doing it all by yourself, as long as you can live with the fact that you're making that decision, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't let the hype in, because a lot of people just make videos, me myself sometimes, just the clickbait videos just to get a click, sometimes just to draw you in to see what we have to say. So a lot of people aren't really quitting, they're just doing it for views. You know what I mean? They know fuel keeps going up, inflation just keeps getting worse, but now they're saying we're about to be in a recession. So I would just say keep researching. There's still money to be made out here. Of course, you got to know what you're doing. Yeah. But don't, it shouldn't be easy to make money in any industry. So that's kind of a good thing. You see a lot of people exiting, see it as a way to come in. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah, just to tap on that a little bit as well. Everybody's numbers aren't the same. Exactly. So when you're running a business, it boils down to the numbers, the number game. Our expenses are different from you guys' expenses. It's going to be different from the neighbors next door expenses. Everybody's expenses is different. So if the numbers make sense and you've done the research and you know what it takes to succeed into the business and you can do that, or you're willing to do it, then I say don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, and I think that's where something like a consultation call with, either me or you, or anybody who's experienced at all. It don't have to be us. It can be somebody who's been in here 3, 5, 10 years. Your neighbor, somebody that you can exactly, and let them get into how their expenses are. Maybe they can teach you a little bit more individually and know more about your story and your process, because it all depends on your overhead, just like she said.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I knew somebody. I want to touch on this. I knew somebody in New York. She told me her down payment for her insurance was like $9,000. I was like, wow. She was like, I'm in New York. I was like, goodness gracious, $9,000. And she said her monthly payment would have been around $4,000 a month for a
doing Hotshot?
For a 26-foot box truck. And I was like, goodness gracious, $4,000 a month. I could not imagine having that overhead. She was like,
her
yeah,
mortgage.
yeah. She was like, my mortgage is $5,200. She has like a $1.3 million home. So it's some people who literally watching this from all over. They're not just watching this from the South. You know, in the South, we have very low cost of living. People are watching this in Southern Cali, freaking New Mexico, New York, New Jersey, where their cost of living is totally just different. Through the roof at some, you know what I mean? So
it's the numbers. Learn your numbers and go over your numbers.
Yeah.
And make the decision.
Exactly. Do what's best for you.
That's good.
And my one suggestion I would give is try to either come on with a partner or somebody that you can work alongside and you have the same, if not at least the close same goals, so that way you can take the business to the same level, because then it comes down to a different conversation where if you're running a one truck show and that truck goes down, your whole business can shut down. So really understanding operations, right? How are you going to operate? Have goals. Am I going to have 2 trucks? Am I going to lease on other drivers? God forbid one truck is down, I have 2 other trucks operating. Am I going to run a dispatching company? So there's all those questions that you have to really ask yourself before you start this operation. These are questions and conversations that we had prior to us starting into this company. We kind of already knew and had a map on what route we wanted to go with the trucking industry, right? We didn't know everything because at the beginning we're like, okay, what route are we going to take? But as we the deeper that we get in, the more that we learn, the more that we understand the trucking industry. Okay, this is aligning with our plan. This is working out. We're going to do this, and then we're going to move on to that.
And then sometimes working from the end backwards is also another way to kind of strategize as well. I think looking at that end goal and then, putting certain things in place, whether you're starting from that point back, is also, I think, a good thing to do. Yeah. But all right, so Darius Lynch, Shalom fam. I've been listening for a short while, but I like the partnership between you and your wife. Appreciate that. If that's going for both, either myself or Mike. Yeah. I started my Hotshot in January, and it's been hectic for me and dispatcher with new authority.
Yeah, because all of that's gonna, based on, like I said, where you're from. That's really important, because if you're out of Colorado and you're just like, why aren't there any loads? It's because it's Colorado, or Southern Florida. It's places where freight is a little
graveyard of hotshots.
You know what I mean? It's harder to get out of there. And then they got a 25-foot trailer, so they're very limited on that. It just all depends. And then you got a new authority, so for that first 90 days, it's gonna be tough, man, for everybody. And no matter what type of equipment you got.
And who is that dispatching you? Where did you vet them? What kind of experience, contacts, relationships they have? Like, what are they putting in for you? What are they offering as well? That can take an effect into your success. So
you gotta know you right.
Yeah, the 6-wheel office, big 6-wheel, 8 hotshots closed down over the last few weeks.
Dang.
Yeah, it's happening now, man.
So what's crazy is like so many people coming into the industry and so many people are getting washed out of the industry, right? So
turnover rate is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's happening. All right, PR gang, this for you, Wivey, the Puerto Rico in the house. Salute, man, salute. Does DOT crack down more on hotshots more than big trucks? I believe so. Yeah. I believe we're an easier target. They get the job done with us quicker. They can write us up a lot quicker, things like that. Yeah. But and then at the end of the day, a lot of people come into the industry without the experience, without a CDL. You don't really need much. Yeah. So
at all, bro.
With the lack of that knowledge, people are out there just doing whatever, and it's causing it's grabbing attention.
Yeah. Don't be in their trailers derated. Don't be knowing about the proper tire pressure to have your tires at.
Securement, man. Yep.
Yeah, not having tread.
Let's see. All right, so Darius again. I've been driving since 06, van and flatbed. I'm more than qualified, but brokers never ask about your experience level.
Because that's not even what they look at. But that can be a negotiating tactic. Because when we were dispatching brand new people, and they would have a CDL, we say, hey, look, man, he has a new authority, but he's had a CDL for 10 years. he rolled for Prime, he rolled for Swift, he rolled for and they'll be like, you know what, I think I can override it. Let me check. You know what I mean?
It depends on the brokerage.
It does.
I've had times where they say that they can't push it through. It's not about how long you've been driving. They go based on the authority.
Yeah. So sometimes you just got to kind of throw that in and tell your dispatcher to try to use that as a
negotiating tactic. Though it is. It'll
because that's all they're looking for. And then a lot of problems they have with brand new authorities with no inspections on it. They'll think that they're using it to be a carrier to double broker out loads. You know what I mean? So I think that's the reason why they're so strict.
So many different tactics out there, man. So many different scams and so much going on. Domino says, I tell people all the time, it's mentally and physically taxing. You're sacrificing time at home with your family. You're sacrificing physical health and mental. Yep.
That's true.
Definitely got to keep those things in mind, man.
Yeah, how do y'all be eating over the road? I know y'all be cooking sometimes.
I mean, lately, since I've been in this new setup, I haven't cooked. I need more storage space. I still probably I got a few more toolboxes to add on, so I haven't been, cooking over the road. But I still try to be, thoughtful of what I'm choosing to eat. I'd rather stack up on maybe some turkey sandwiches that are on the go, rather than going to buy McDonald's or something. Then I have my if you guys watch my channel, I usually have my cereals or my yogurts.
Yeah, the oatmeal.
So but there's times where I just feel like hey, I'm gonna just go grab me a burger. I'm gonna go grab me, I eat whatever. So
I try to just limit myself to eating once a day and try to find a Subway as much as I possibly can. You know what I mean?
That's definitely an ongoing challenge.
Yeah,
as far as eating on the road, because sometimes, bro, I'm just tired, man. I just want something comforting. You know what I'm saying? So
just get you like a little cooler, man. Well, I know you probably got one. Get it like a little cooler, put some ice in it, get some fruit cups, some some Danimals, maybe just something to just snack on while you're driving. So you're not. Well, I ain't have no Danimals in that, but I'm saying like
you have a cooler in your set?
Yeah, I just got one, like
an ice one,
2 weeks ago. Just wanted to put ice in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta have something in there, man.
You just gotta
you can just plug in and it just stays cold. You don't have to put ice on. So your stuff gonna get wet.
I probably gotta get one of them.
Yeah.
I probably gotta get one of them.
Well, Laura B, what up, Laura? Says
What's up,
with
Laura?
the kids, it's a whole different level.
Laura has some kids, so
I can believe it.
Yeah. All right, so money. Larry says money. It takes money to make money. Facts. You better have a solid truck with a diesel engine and money lut bank. Facts. Truck it up. Hotshot was easy during the good rates. Now with the declining rates, it's going to be tough enough for a semi, let alone hotshots. And the brokers are already playing games if hotshot versus semi. That's true.
One thing I've noticed a lot on the loads, they'll have a little remark where they'll capitalize and they'll say, "No hotshots, no hotshots, no hotshot, please."
Exactly.
So at one time I asked them, and they're like, I asked, why is it a no hotshot load? And I've asked a couple of times. One other time I asked, they said, well, my customer requested a flatbed because of experience. So I'm guessing they're probably getting a lot of hotshots that were inexperienced with securing and stuff like that. And then the other reason he said is, what did he tell me? Just bad experience with hotshots.
Yeah. So I'd love to.
I was telling Tim too, like, man, it's a lot of times you see on them flatbeds or them step decks, like the lower part usually is about 43. It'll be like a 43 plus 10 type of deal.
Yeah.
And you usually don't see them loaded with that, no more than 40 feet of deck space. So it's a lot of loads that we could be getting that are light, not as long, that go on a semi for $4 or $5 a mile. But like she said, the relationship that Hotshot and or the reputation that Hotshot done built for itself, it's kind of messing us up.
Yeah, they look at us like, okay, they're smaller, they're not as important. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
We'll give this the same load. We'll pay $5,700.
Yeah,
so flatbed. Oh, it's going a Hotshot $3,200. Like,
exactly.
So that's one of my negotiation techniques, though. Don't say it's a Hotshot until the end.
I don't say hotshot unless they ask me.
Exactly.
I hate when they do that. What you got?
I usually say flatbed. And unless it's a flatbed hotshot, if they ask, then I'll say, but if not, I just say it's a flatbed.
Yeah.
You know all the flatbed.
All right, let me keep going, man. We got a lot of
There's
questions.
another thing I've seen is like where they'll post the same load, but they'll post it for Hotshot for like $600 less, and then you look it up, and then they'll post it for Step Deck for $600 more. But it's the same exact load going to the same place. So I'm like, how? I'm like, I'm Step Deck.
And for a lot of people that are in here listening, whether you're new or whether you're just tapping in, most of our conversation is based off of the load boards, which is, you know, the spot market. There are other avenues as far as building certain relationships, getting customers with different shippers and things like that, which, you know, I think we all are in the process, and we're always, you know, those are some of the goals. But still, we feel like even with that, we'll definitely, you know, still be on the load board. But I just wanted to put that out there, just people have an idea that really aren't fully into the game already. To kind of what we're talking about.
So we have Toe Piglet wants to come into the live. That would be awesome.
We probably late as heck on that. How long ago you said that?
Your email.
I don't know how we.
Yeah, you gotta send an email, TP.
We'll have to send them the StreamYard link.
Go on his page real quick and just get it. I'm sure you got it in the link. Six Wheels says, "Who do y'all think is ruining the industry at the moment?" We are. we the hotshots out there. We're ruining it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, you said who do we think is ruining it?
Yeah.
I don't see his email on there.
85 people on this live. Can I get some? Can we get some likes?
Sir. Like a video,
Henry. Yo, that reminded me. Y'all throw some likes up here. Man, we got Entre Mike and Wifey in the building. You know, up with us. So that's dope. Yeah, Toe Piglet, if we can get a way to send it to you, man, we'll chop it up, man. If you guys are open to it, you know, we can go back.
I'm cool with that, man.
So
we all seen TP.
Maybe you can send it to him on Instagram.
I don't know if TP's on Instagram anymore.
He open it up.
Okay. Team Mac and Team Mike, much appreciation for you both. Watch y'all so much on YouTube. I really appreciate the fact that you are so helpful and not negative. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. And I talked to Mac a lot about that, man. I said, man, it's so much negativity going on in the community. I'm not making any more controversial, negative type of topics, bro. It's just, I want everybody to win, man. You know what I mean? Like you guys said a lot. It's not the competition one. Oh. It's the competition one.
Competition.
Collaboration over competition. Yeah.
Collaboration over competition.
Facts, man.
That's really what it is, man. I think if we're all, you know, in a way of doing things the right way to keep things up, I mean, I feel like everyone would be able to, you know what I'm saying, succeed.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't meant to be, unfortunately, if you know whatever path you guys are on or choose, then you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have those issues. But shedding light on, you know, what is also good and what you can actually get out of the industry as well is definitely a breath of fresh air, because you get a lot of negativity if you get into those Facebook, you know, groups,
Facebook lives, it's all types.
It's a lot of negativity out there. So just keep in mind, man, there's still a good positive side to this entire thing. I just think that there's a lot of frustration right now with, you know, where you know, we as, you know, owner operators, business owners, or whatever it is, we just have a lot against us right now. You know, we're just trying to do the right thing and make a living for our family and you know, be successful. So that's where, you know, it's good to hear that though. That's why we try to, you know, stay positive and you know, give y'all both sides at times. So
yes, sir.
I sent it Toe Piglet. I sent the link to your Instagram. I'm not sure if you're able to open it from there.
I didn't even know he had an IG.
That's what I was saying. I thought TV had shut that down a while ago, but
apparently not. He on there.
All right, let's see. Let me go back up, man. You guys got some questions, and I want to try to get back to, you know, some of these important questions. I appreciate y'all for you know, interacting too, man, with the questions, the feedback.
Sure.
Appreciate it for real. All right, so here we go. Domino says, when you do math on how many hours go into driving versus how much money you're bringing in, expenses, free time, and everything, it's hard. Set goals and have a purpose. That's a fact.
Yep.
At the same time, and that's another thing, when you start doing calculations like that, you're gonna realize, okay, you're making a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? You're making a sacrifice. And no matter what you do, whatever business you start to, you know, you're not gonna turn around and you're not gonna see all this profit just rolling your way in the beginning.
Exactly.
You gotta make sacrifices. You're gonna have losses, you're gonna have wins. It's just, you know, a part of the journey as far as the way I see it. That's a good point, Domino.
Yeah, that's facts, man. That's facts.
Yeah. Nothing 500 going 900 mile isn't going on my truck getting a free ride. Yeah, for real.
I mean, that's just gonna pay for fuel, dude. If I did the math on something going like 10 miles per gallon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just be on the lookout too. Like, I mean, it goes back to the whole thing where what's partial or what's flatbed load or what's a hotshot load. A lot of these brokers, they'll pull a load out, with the idea and mindset of, this truck can scale 80,000 or this truck can scale 50,000. So this little piece that they're adding is just gonna blah blah blah. But in our space, it's a little different. So we got to keep in mind of those things as well.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is, fuel. Because at 900 miles, you divide it by 10 miles, 10 miles per gallon. You get 90 gallons. 90 gallons time the average fuel of $5.50, $495. So if you were to take that load for maybe 55, 60 cents a mile, it will just pay for the fuel. That's it. You know what I mean? But people don't really think about that. And that's just fuel.
Yeah. Brandon says, do y'all dispatch for others? We do. We do.
I think we both do.
Yeah. There's stiff requirements though, man. You gotta have a certain trailer type.
You gotta be willing to run. You can hit the email.
Yeah, we have a link in our description, guys. If you guys are looking for lease on dispatch and service, we have all that in our description. So definitely check that out. We'll be in contact.
Same for us. If y'all need dispatch, just go to my channel and it's in the description at Entre Mike.
These shippers need to cut out the brokers with their greed.
Hey Tim, I had told you that story. I'm gonna just go over it a little bit. Where I took a ladder from Georgia to Lenoir, South Carolina. It was like 319 loaded miles that I ended up picking another partial with going to North Carolina too. Right. So I got $750 for that load. It was a 20-foot ladder, 150 pounds. And the shipper and me, we were talking. I think it was a receiver. Matter of fact, we were just chopping it up. He was just like, "Man, I need to stop what I'm doing and become a truck driver now because you guys are getting paid good." I was like, this is a decent load, but I'm like, you're not in a broker carrier agreement. You're not really supposed to speak on to the shipper about the rate that you got. And he was just like, "I won't tell anybody. But how much did you get paid for this load?" I said, "How much did you get paid?"
Yeah,
I got paid. How much did you get paid? How much did you pay for it?
Yeah,
I paid $1,600. I said I got $750. So that kind of let you know these dudes shipped a ladder because he was explaining it to me how the broker did it. He charged them $800 to go there and $800 to go back. They're charging the customers basically twice, like saying, okay, yeah, they're gonna go 319 there, but they probably won't get backhaul, so they're charging them for backhaul too. So it's really some brokers out here hustling hard.
Yeah. And
you wouldn't even think it.
All right, so it looks like, all right, guys, so we're going to add Toe Piglet, man, to the stream. He tapped
in. All right, bet.
We're gonna talk on the topic, man. Appreciate Toe Piglet for coming through. And
TP in the building.
What's going on, man?
The hot fucking God.
Listen, we missed you at the trucking show, man, in Louisville.
I was there for 2 days, and then I had to go down because the plan originally was like, oh, maybe we can make a mini vacation out of this real quick, with my wife and my kids and drive up there. Then we're like, wait, hold on, 4 days. Hotels are like $250 a night. It's like, okay, great. That's gonna be $3,000 that I don't want to spend. So never mind. I'll just drive over there myself. So it was a quick 2-day thing. But I want to talk about these cheap rates, right? Because a lot of people they don't understand cheap rates, okay? And all three of us know now that having your own business is really hard. Really hard. Okay.
Extremely hard.
Right. Now, and that's not just the trucking business. That's not just the hotshot business. That's every business.
Yes.
Every business, you have to fight to survive. You have to fight to exist. And that means that even shippers have the same problem. Okay. We kind of distance ourselves from, but those are people running legitimate businesses that have fought and studied and worked hard to manufacture a product. Do you think they're going to want to spend as much money as physically possible to keep truckers good rates?
I agree to that. And I hear that usually they'll have a certain budget for what they'll have a season ahead. So they already know what they're projecting that their rates are going to be to the brokers in the fall, but they can't really plan for something like a pandemic. They can't really plan for stuff like increased fuel prices. But at the same time, we can't either. You know what I mean?
Right. And so a lot of the times contract rates, yes, they're negotiated in advance. No, like companies that are especially listed on the stock markets, like they don't want surprises. Nobody likes surprises. Investors don't like surprises. So they try to negotiate all of these things in advance. Now, the problem is businesses are made by one company knowing something that the other company doesn't. Okay. And let me I can explain a little more. Like you're talking about this broker, that shipper that did that load. Oh, well, we'll have to take that shipper could have Googled for 5 seconds and realized that you don't have to pay as a shipper for a backhaul. So you could know, but so there's it's asymmetrical information, right? So one person has information that the other person doesn't. It's like, if you know you can get a logo on Fiverr for $20, do you think you ever are going to pay a designer $2,000? No, because you know that. But maybe you're so busy and wrapped up in your business that you don't know that a logo is only $50 instead of $2,000. Maybe you don't know that as a shipment or as a piece of freight, you're only supposed to pay one way, and that's the job of the trucking company to maximize their backhaul that they need to figure out. So you fell for that broker on his sales pitch. You did as a shipper, and like with information, with internet, that information asymmetry is going down, and so it is now more of a level playing field. And so really, as a trucking company, your only advantage is how good of a service could I possibly provide.
I agree with that.
What really bothers me is every time I make a video about like Airtable or websites or tracking or all this stuff, like the actual nitty gritty, always bomb on views. Always just garbage. Complete. It's like people are absolutely not interested. The only thing people care about is like, oh, I just want to go drive a truck, not realizing driving the truck is literally the easiest part of the
easiest part.
Yeah. So it's like, but for some reason, like you said earlier, that's the only thing that gets views. Oh, I did $18,000 in 14 days. It's like, great, 100,000 views.
Yeah,
but there's also accountability that goes on the carrier too for booking those loads that are out of their cost to operate. You know what I mean? I spoke to a freight broker. I don't know if you heard of him, Sage, but he basically said brokers aren't supposed to work for free, and same thing to the carrier. So if you're booking loads that are way under your cost to operate, where like that load going 500 miles for 900, I don't think anybody would do that. But where you're basically just spending fuel, you're working for free, or anything, you're paying money just to take a load. So the accountability is on us as carriers too, to not take freight that doesn't make sense for us. You know what I mean?
And the way to look at this, like, and it's not even my thing, it's just something I heard recently, is there's this Asian guy, he does design work, and his name is The Future on YouTube. Does really good in-depth videos about how to get sales, because design is one of those things. That's why I brought up that example. It's like there are designers that charge, like I spent $2,600 just for the guy to come up with my TP logo. Just the TP, it was $2,600. And let me tell you, it was one of the most valuable experiences I've ever had. First of all, because he did such a good job. He gave me this whole brand guideline, all this stuff, made me look way more professional. But where I was going, but the thing is, like, it's the customer service is what will make you happy or not from that experience, right? So brokers, they're not in charge of the customer service experience. It's so simple. Just go get your own customers. Oh, I don't have enough capacity. Great, then grow, right? And so the market has figured out to be as efficient as possible. The broker needs to be in charge of sales, and the trucking company needs to be responsible for their trucks, for the operations, right? And so it's like everything around us is the way it is on purpose, like, because that is the most efficient way. Now, what happens is brokers, they're all, like, because the barrier to entry is lower than twofold, right? Number one is the barrier to entry is lower than trucking. And the second thing is most people, I would say, are not outgoing, aren't looking out there to go make sales, aren't door knocking on a bunch of customer doors. Most people want to be quiet. Most people want to hold the steering wheel, drive their truck, just have a good life. Like, most people aren't, not outgoing. What's the word?
What, extroverted?
Yes. So most people aren't extroverted. They're not trying to go like, hey man, I can ship your load. We got trucks in the area. Like, most people aren't trying to go out there and make sales. Like, we think turnover is high in trucking. Go do door-to-door commission sales. The turnover there is insane. So
and a lot
same
of people
thing here.
Don't even know how to do that. You know,
right.
Where do I start?
And so those two things, right? It's like, number one is the barrier to entry is really low. Bond, $1,300. LLC, $400. done. You're a broker. And second thing is because most people aren't, they're introverts usually. Like that's why a lot of the times the people that get attracted to being a broker is number one, high tech firms that have a ton of money and they can standardize the process, or people with not so good integrity.
And
you
got a lot of not so good integrity.
Right. But then again, those people are only around for a few years.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
And so it's like, really, if you have a good factoring, I think we all have RTS, it's like RTS has been just a humongous lifesaver. They're so great, honestly, probably one of the best factoring companies out there. And like with a good factoring company, you better be running your credit checks, because if they say they're not taking them, you better not haul that load, because I have hauled loads, or like drivers have hauled loads that we still haven't gotten paid on. And it's been 8 months.
Facts.
So
we thought about going with RTS. We're with Phoenix Capital Group, which has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But definitely, like you said, TP, you gotta have that factoring company that where you do that credit check.
And so a little bit of input about factoring is, think about their margins. What do they charge?
Like maybe 3%,
2%,
3 to 4.
Okay, now why do they charge so little? Like, why not just invest that money into the stock market? Here's how it works.
About volume.
That's what I was gonna say.
About volume. So if you have a factoring company that doesn't do a literal humongous amount of volume, they will go out of business. Facts. So you want to be very, very careful choosing a low volume factoring company, because even though they charge 3%, in reality, they loan the money from the bank at a percentage. So 1% might go to the bank. Then they have to pay their agents and sales rep and commissions 1%. And maybe some of that is left over then after that. But if you think about like, oh wait, they only get 3%. Well, you gotta annualize that rate. So it's 3% in an average invoice might take 60 days. So then they get 3% on a 60-day period. Then you double that. So in reality, they get 3% for these 2 months for those. So on an annualized rate, they might be getting 18%. And that's why a factoring company exists instead of taking their money and putting it into the stock market, because in factoring, they make 18% instead of like 7 or 8 in the stock market. Right. Yeah. But the main thing is there needs to be an insane amount of volume, because if there isn't, then they go out of business, because those margins are insanely slim.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got a factoring company cooking up somewhere.
That's what it sounds like.
About life insurance.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm like really working on right now is I don't even know if I can talk about it, but I have a new Chrome extension that I'm building out, and it's called Scam Freight. And the whole purpose of it is for motor carriers to leave reviews of brokers.
I like
that's
that.
the main
That's
thing.
a great idea.
The problem
I would get
like,
that.
Right. I like a broker left me a bad review and I couldn't even respond to it. It's so unfair. What that carrier 411 is such a scam. My goodness, I hate that thing. And so they left me a bad review. And now when my guys are like, I have 6 dispatchers in the office. When they try to book a load, they go like, "Hey, Alex, that negative review is really starting to affect us." And so it's like, great.
When they leave that review, you should have gone, and you have 2 days to answer to contest that email. So
right, and I left a response, but like that doesn't do anything. You could technically you can leave a response, but ultimately, the moment you get one bad review, you start to lose freight. And so it's really important to make sure you don't get that one bad review, or else you will notice. Especially
like a certain time frame for it to just drop off, or
usually within after a year. If there's nothing after a year, you're totally fine.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you tapping in, man, TB, for real. And
that was some good insight, dude.
Probably the first time we're interacting, and just to look back a little bit, we've taken a lot away from a lot of your videos. There's always controversy and things that are spoken about, but like I said, we've taken away a lot of gems, and we definitely appreciate it, man. And even tapping in right now, and just giving back some information and some knowledge to some of our viewers. So we definitely appreciate it.
No cap. His channel was the channel we used to binge watch.
Same.
I was excited when he came up on one of my first lives about Hotshot. I think he asked, am I doing better now since I switched over to Hotshot on YouTube?
Dude, I appreciate you guys having me for sure. Thank you so much.
We should plan something in the future when you guys have some time. We can do a whole TP operation live if you're up to it.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Let me know when.
And I got a video coming, man, answering the question on that topic.
5,500.
I was like, yeah, you know, I gotta respond. We gotta talk about it at some point.
Man, I really, dude. Dude, it pains like that 5,500, bro. Like I hope it lasts just, you know, I hope it lasts like my truck, you know, 300,000 miles, no problems. Then at 300,000 miles, you're usually doing turbo and injectors. And then you can get it to 500,000, and at 500,000, you're doing transmission. I really hope it lasts that long with as few problems as possible. But I don't know why.
Like any other truck out there, you know what I'm saying? Any other truck out there you get. I mean, I'm very grateful with the fuel mileage I'm getting. When you said 6, I was like, man, why am I not seeing that?
It's like a tractor.
You know? I'm with the gear ratio, I'm looking at 9.5 average, you know, loaded. So that's a blessing as well, you know. But we'll get more detail into that later on, man. But again, I appreciate you tapping in. Let's I'm gonna go through some of these comments. And if you want to hang out, TP still. he cleared it. He
gone. TP out.
Say if you want to hang out, man, definitely we can tap it up a little bit more. But I definitely appreciate them. So Santez Hopper says, "Peace, kings and queens." Santez Hopper, owner of Hopper Transportation Logistics, just wanted to know: is it better to lease or buy my truck and trailer?
Depends on you personally, bro.
Yeah,
you know, I'm all for ownership. In the long run, which you can do that with leasing too. But you just want to make sure whatever deal you get, make sure you can try to keep your overhead
that probably
as possible.
Question that TP could have probably chimed in on because
I think he's still leasing through Enterprise.
Right. So, but all right, man. Let's see what else we got. It's been a good conversation so far, man. We coming up on we over an hour already, man, and so we'll
do another 15 minutes, and we'll just kind of like
okay.
Yeah,
you guys okay in time?
You guys,
no, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah. That's all good. 15.
All right, so bro, the diesel shortages. Texas Hotshot Ram 3500 48-foot trailer, roof insulation only.
You got that 48 pad boy.
It's a new thing happening.
How big are the axles on that thing, man? You got 12, 16s.
Say that again.
I wonder how big his axles is on it. If he's running like 212s or 216s.
Yeah, I'd probably
212s,
215s or 16s or something. Yeah. But on that, with the 3500, I think the 12s would be, would suffice.
Yeah.
Based on what it can. But that's a nice setup, man. If you got a 48-foot trailer.
I've been hearing about that.
Yeah.
You probably gotta have a tractor for that though, as far as like taking out the bed of your truck. As far as the length requirement.
Yeah. I mean, at that length, definitely want to have that registered as a tractor. What's up, Mac? They keep leaving to work.
Facts.
What's up, man? Yeah, and then the ones that are leaving, man, it just wasn't, it was meant to be.
Exactly.
Supercharged. Y'all two teams are a great motivation. I'm looking to jump in soon. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Seeing it as a way to come in. He said it perfectly. Based on probably a topic we were touching on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? Domino again, Mr. and Mrs. Matt. Okay. What's next for you guys? How far are you guys trying to take your trucking business? Is trucking the ultimate goal, or do you guys have aspirations?
Ooh, we have many aspirations. Trucking is just serving us as the vehicle to get where we want to be. Based on if you guys don't already know, trucking, the overhead of trucking is ridiculous. The liability is ridiculous. So it is important that if you are doing trucking, you don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you have one truck operation and like I mentioned earlier, if that truck fails, you have all your eggs in that basket. What's next, right? So for us, we're really big on multiple streams of income. We're big on really not putting all of eggs in one basket. We're big.
So I was going to back off of that and say, based on like the question where it's like, what's next for you guys? We're still, growing with, what we have as far as, lease-ons, and whether I'm going to have drivers in the truck and have a fleet of hotshots, I'm not sure. I'm kind of just seeing where things go, with the industry. But we have other things that we are going to do outside of trucking within the trucking industry, if that makes sense, as far as like some service-based stuff, just social media is a business. There's just some other things even outside of this that we're doing. So it's kind of hard to say exactly what we're doing next. And we honestly just don't want to really give all that away as well.
One thing I will share with you guys, if you guys are thinking of getting in the trucking industry, do not just get fixed on Hotshot Trucking. The trucking business is humongous. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, right? So we're
10%, man.
There's brokerage. There is service-based companies such as compliance. There's so many things that you can get into. So I would say, if you're not sure what to do, tap in. If you don't have the financial investment to get into per se a truck, looking into a service-based company. Service-based companies don't require that overhead coming in. All you need is your cell phone, your computer, and you can start generating income that can potentially help you get into a truck. So those are things to consider. I'll give you a little nugget. I won't talk about it right now, but
I'll do too much.
No, that's a fact, man. Y'all had anything on that?
Man, about the same.
Yeah.
About the same, man.
We got the same mindset as far as,
You most definitely just don't want to have all your investments on wheels,
Right.
That's a good way to put it. I like it.
Yeah. On wheels. I like that. Yeah. Chuck says, I was told by a driver with people getting out of trucking, now it's the time to get into it. Yeah, I've heard that.
I like it. I mean, just make sure you get in the right way, because inflation still is at its peak right now. So you don't want it to be your truck to be worth, you buy it for $70K this year and it's worth $50 next year. You know what I mean? If you could have just waited it out, but because trucking is never going to go anywhere. Yeah. It's never going to go anywhere. So it's no rush.
Yeah. Chicano Hotshot, Mrs. Mac, how's your channel and your dispatching skills going? Listen, man, just watch what I do. Watch how I move, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit more as far as how I'm operating over the road. Because I'll be honest with you guys, lately, with all the other stuff that we have, I know, but I'm talking about your dispatching skills going with everything, with your dispatching and me being on the road. We've been doing different partnerships. We've been doing things. So I'm gonna start going back to some of those videos where I'm showing you guys how I'm running, and you guys then you're gonna see the skills.
And as far as my channel, I've been slacking, not necessarily because I want to, because it's time. I have to realize that in order for my mental health, I have to really focus on the priority right now, which is really building Macc transport and logistics. And we were going through a time where, we were getting the truck on the road, we were making sure, and then we had to do a little reset and really just come back to earth. Us as a marriage. So, but I'm coming back. Don't worry. That's what I said. It's coming back. Coming back.
All right. So I'll let you answer that question. The dispatching skills going. Let them know you do your thing out here.
I feel like I've invested a lot in myself, not only to gain my skills, but put them into practice within our own business. So that alone should just speak
for itself. Yeah. Appreciate the question, Chicano. Houston, Texas in the house. Okay, Houston, Texas in the house. Okay, everybody from Houston, man.
God dang.
Victor, what's going on?
That's why it's so hard to get out of here.
Facts. Needed.
Top 3 dead zones. Let's see. I can give you 2 from the top of my head. I will say Colorado, don't go there.
Sure.
Kansas, don't go there.
Whoa, Kansas?
West of Kansas?
No. West of Kansas. Kansas City, though.
Kansas
City, you can get out of there.
Yeah. Kansas City, West of Kansas, forget it.
Yeah.
In Florida, if you don't have any contacts, then it's hard to get out, but you can go in hot. So
yeah, you can go in hot with $4.
Yeah, and with us being about 2 miles from Florida, from Jacksonville, we go to Florida. Well, 2 hours. I'm sorry, not 2 miles, 2 hours. We go into Florida a lot to come home. So you always see the Florida load. So to come home,
they pay good.
Yeah, for sure. They do.
I'm getting at least $3, and just going back 2 hours home.
Yeah,
so it's a blessing.
All right, so Paul says, I love this. I've been following both of you guys, and you all have helped me out a lot. Thank you. I'm started, and I'm on the road. That's what's up, Paul. We've been able to help, man.
Yeah, congrats, bro.
Yeah. Help us get, help us to get things right out here.
And guys, if you guys are either new right now to the live and you guys are not familiar with Entre Mike, I really highly suggest you to go and check out his channel. Him and his wife, they're really truly entrepreneurs doing the thing in the hotshot trucking business. He started, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys started with box trucks.
Yep.
Now working on getting a fleet of hotshots, and he puts a ton of information on his channel, not only on the road blogs, but he kind of breaks it down on the financial side.
That's what I like, man. It's clear.
And it's clear. So that's something that you guys want to listen to and attracted to. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his channel.
Definitely.
Yeah, so it's just Entre Mike. ENTRE.
What did you say? What's the difference?
I always say Entre Mike.
No, you can say Entre Mike. It's either
Entre.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
See, I I made it because of entrepreneur, but it kind of sounded like Huncho, like Quavo.
Oh, okay, Antro.
So I did like Antro. I would say Antro. I didn't know if I want to go with an O or an E because of course it's not an O.
An entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Antro just sounds a little, catchier, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Tom says, "Hi, Mac and wife. Been watching you for a while. Hello, Mike and wife. Throw your channel out so I can follow. Interested in your breakdown videos." So if you can, I'll put it in there real quick. It's just pretty much
just Entre Mike.
I keep saying Andre too, just because of that.
I literally just dropped a video yesterday or 2 days ago, breaking down $20,000 of revenue. Like I said, you guys will be surprised how many expenses are actually coming out of that. And then even with the take home, you got your personal expenses. So it's not like we're just saving 10 grand a month. We wish, but
right. But we getting there.
We're gonna get there.
We gotta start somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Yeah. Tom says, "Been 18 wheeling for over 2 years, but the spirit gives me energy. But I have used it to make complete companies richer. I'm ready to use the energy for me and the
nice.
Yes,
that's what's up, man. That's what it's all about."
Sorry, go ahead. I was
just saying that's.
Go ahead.
Every single time. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say, damn, I lost my train of thought. Starting small, hotshots, right? Quote unquote, because that's what they call us, the little guys, and a lot of big truckers don't really have the respect for us. But at the end of the day, a lot of us own our own companies. Mm-hmm. We're not really on nobody's time or nobody's clock doing what they want us to do. We work on our time at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that we love that flexibility and the ability to grow.
Yeah.
And
so
I want to touch on that.
My bad, Mike. I was just going to really say, even to hear Tom saying, I'm ready to use the energy for me and the little man, that shift and that transition, just even being aware that you want to make that change for yourself is good.
Yeah. Now, I was just going to touch up on that because I know she was speaking on earlier, a lot of minorities getting in and not having financial literacy. We're literally like the minorities of the minorities in the trucking business.
Yep.
Like, so Hotshot is basically the minority in the trucking business.
Oh, okay.
We're 10% of taking up an LTL freight. If you look it up, LTL freight only makes up 10% of the whole industry. So we are the minorities of the minority.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. Do you Passport Movie Gang, do you think it's better for drivers with equipment to jump out and get their own authority versus leasing on as an owner operator?
That's a great topic.
I'm gonna always say leasing on, man, because that's what I did, and I felt like that's what kind of worked for me. But it, like Mike touched on earlier, man, it kind of also goes back to depending on that support system and what kind of who's background with you, what kind of background are you coming from, and what research have you done and things like that. If you're coming into this, as I did, where I didn't have family members in the industry, I didn't have friends in the industry. I did have a good friend that had, that helped me out a ton with, Securement. I was on FaceTime, but my headspace was, I have no idea what I'm about to get myself into. As far as being over the road, consistently for a certain amount of time to do what I wanted to do. Yeah. So in a way, I don't really like to use it too much as far as testing waters, but for me, I already had the truck. The only thing I had to do was get a trailer. So leasing on was comfortable for me, and I can focus on the side of getting to know the industry, getting to learn what rates are, getting to learn what an ELD is and how to do my hours of service and just get familiar with it. So that route, which for me is what kind of worked out. And then you have people that go out there and get their own authority and kill it. You know what I'm saying? So it really comes down to you, but I say lease on, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, man. If you're not quick with learning on your feet, I will go leasing on. Yeah. I'm not saying you weren't good on learning on your feet, but if you're somebody who struggles, haven't used any type of, had any type of securement training, any negotiating tactics on, knowing your lanes and your rates for the market that you're in with non CDL hotshot or CDL hotshot, I would say lease on, or at least speak with somebody with experience before you just go out there. Because even Macc taught me how to secure my first vehicle. You remember that? Back when I was on
FaceTime. That's
I think I was in Dallas. Yeah. I just FaceTimed him. He showed me how to do the first tire strap, and I did the rest of them. Showed him. He said, "Hey, man, you might want to push this back over to the left a little bit," and I kept redoing it. I did that first tire over probably about 5 times. You know what I mean? Because I wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah, that's
so. It's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Thing too, man. That's the next thing with a lot of people, as far as, and then just being a man, like, you know, we're men out there trying to do this. Like sometimes you gotta humble yourself, man, and just be able to reach out for that help or ask the question, and not always think, because a lot of people is, even if you try to go help them out, it's like, nah, bro, I know what I'm doing. Like, you know, you gotta tell me this. I always take, you know, advice or feedback, you know, whether it is, and then I see how it can be constructive or, you know, to what I'm doing. And then, you know, go with it from there. But that's dope, man. And that's what, you know, we're about, man, the community and helping everybody out.
I think
this one.
I think one thing that I've seen based on our feedback and Tim's feedback, not only on our emails, Instagram, on YouTube, I will say I'm really impressed on how many men are actually out there looking for answers and asking questions, which to me, I know how prideful for a man it could be to go out there and reach out. So
while they see you out there.
So that says a lot, not only about the community and how close we're growing as a community, but also how much we're growing as people, period. You know, we're out there. We want to hustle. We want to do better for us and our family. So
That's good. Let me get this one here. Sanchez says, I'm the owner of Hopper Transportation and Logistics, new hotshot company, and wanted to know which option is best starting up buying. Oh, that's the one we just did.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Okay.
You should have just changed it
all.
My bad. No. Yeah, people at times, and people watching out means opportunities for the rest of us. Pray for their personal future to find something they can manage their life. True.
Yeah.
Mike, this one is for you from Andre. Hey, Mike. How did you get financing to buy your trailer? My bank told me they don't offer financing for commercial equipment.
Okay. So it just depends on what type of trailer place you go to, really. So some places do a lease to own type of deal, some do rent to own, and some will finance you. But when you have new business credit, you'll probably be better off if you have the option to do personal financing in your name just to get it. You know what I mean? Because it's the difference between paying 10% down or 25% down. Now, I would advise that you go ahead and pay that 25% down on that trailer just so it's in your business name and it looks more professional when tax season comes around. So I don't know. You may have to just find another lender. It really depends on who you're going through.
Yeah, sometimes depending on who you're with, if you're with any credit unions or whatever bank you personally, maybe you need to reach out to them versus
maybe try Wells Fargo or something like that.
Yeah, but all right, let's see what we got going on next. You got any other topics? I know you had some other stuff on that board, Mike, that we can probably
let's see.
You might have not,
Hey man, we don't went over a lot of it, man.
That's
I was just about on. I was gonna go over the stress with dispatching, but I don't think we have enough time to really go into that.
So the ball game. But what I think we can do, which will also be different, is kind of let the ladies touch up on a little bit on how the back office. If you guys got any recommendations or anything like that, or what keeps
just staying organized, and
what
stuff
keeps
like that.
you guys going with just doing the operations behind what we're doing.
My biggest thing, and one thing I'm really big, is in creating systems for a company. Just because I know that we're going to get bigger, and I know that I don't want to do that. So to create a system for hiring, because if you think about a business, right, you usually have safety and compliance department, you have the dispatching department, you have HR department. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up our company where everything is already itemized. The hiring process, everything is documented. How I want people to onboarding process for hiring, whether it's drivers, whether it's to hire owner operators, everything it's already on an email link. Everything's in place. So when it comes to that point where we're branching out and hiring people, let's say we hire an administrative assistant, let's say we hire an HR or somebody that focuses on that, I don't have to sit there and baby them. I give them the steps. This is what needs to be done. This is how we like it to be done. And it's a step-by-step process, right? Same thing with onboarding on Leeson. Same thing for dispatching. Dispatching, everything is a process, right? I have a dispatch inquiry sheet. we'll have that initial consultation where we talk and we see if we're a match, because not everybody will be a match. Not everybody is gonna match with my energy, and I'm not gonna match with their energy. And I think that's something that's really important when you're working with a company, with another carrier, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be somewhat like a partnership, right? A relationship where I have to have the best interest of your company, but also I'm in here to make money. I'm not here to play around. If you're gonna be taking 3 weeks off, I'm not gonna spend 3 days to onboard you and set up all your companies and set up carrier packets, but you be over here playing around. Like at the end of the day, I'd rather get another carrier that's gonna put in the work, and I can put in the work for them. Like I'm not gonna set your company up and then 3 months on the line you're gonna end up leaving me. Like that. Those are
still a business, man.
Right. Like you have to have that mutual respect.
Yeah.
What are some if you want to touch on that, I guess a little bit
more. It's basically the same. What I feel like we're more so focusing on right now is within our company is in the future getting a driver. We kind of already have that in place. So the same thing, learning about the paperwork. What do I need as far as hiring a driver? What systems, like you said, do I need in place? So I'm still in the process of figuring that stuff out. We have a date that we're looking forward to get the driver. Yeah. So it's him riding and building the income.
I gotta start training coming up in June. So it's gonna be a different experience, a different part of the journey. You know what I mean? Just having to trust somebody to drive your equipment and take care of it.
Yeah. And then with that being and we want to grow. So I'm not sure if you guys know, he's been staying regional lately. So he hasn't been going out. Yeah. So as far as on the dispatching end, what I'm doing now is I'm looking at different lanes. I'm figuring out the lanes and who has the AC units, where are they coming out of, who has the containers. Like, you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing more so on the logistics end, as far as what we want our business to be in the future. That's where we're starting at right now. So
and more knocking on doors. We finna start doing that, because
knocking on the doors.
You start to realize we got like 2 AC unit places, a cable reel place, and the place out in the concrete place. I can't think of their name. But Benny's always going there too. And we all go to the same places here in Georgia. And I'm like, all 4 of those places are within 20 miles.
20 miles.
I'm talking to the concrete guy, because I'm not seeing, I know the brokerage that PLS, they put them out all every other day. But they're like, bro, we have 20, 30 hot shots a day. So I just gotta, put good word in, let them know, hey, I've done freight here every other week for the past, almost year now. What can I do to cancel? I really just want to cancel out the broker, because they say they got so much freight that they use 6 brokers just to do it. So if one broker don't post it, another may. You know what I mean? I'm not set up with all of them, so I'm not seeing the email list of them saying, hey, I got these loads going out. We only got like 2 brokers where within 100-mile radius, they're actually sending out loads that we could get every day. Yeah, and that's a big tip too. You got to really talk, because the broker didn't just sign me up for it and start sending them. I say, hey man, I'm only 100 miles away. I'd love to do this again, this and that, because he paid a really good rate. I think it was going to DC. And I've only done like 3 or 4 loads with him, but he posts every day. They're so hot. You know what I mean? You got to really be there.
I'm down. I wonder if this is that one broker out there.
We have one broker in Georgia too.
Where's he out of?
Picking up where?
Georgia. No, but he's more like Clarksville. I see a lot of stuff in Clarksville, and I forgot what else.
We might have to get that broker.
Yeah. I don't think people realize that though. How many shippers or how much freight is in your backyard?
Yeah, and not only in your backyard, but like I said, in them emails that you got to really go after it. Like after a load, you're gonna get shut down sometimes. I told one broker, like, hey man, I live 90 miles from Tennille. I like this load. He was like, look, man, I'm a broker. I'm just trying to make some money. I'm not trying to make friends. You're gonna get that sometimes. And then you got other brokers that say, hey man, I like that. You got it there on time. I'm gonna set you up for a list, send out loads every single day. And his loads never hit the load board. Never hit the load board. Yeah. They're just through the email list and they're covered.
Yeah,
that is true.
I'm gonna go through some more, because man, we got a lot of comments and questions.
Chair, guys.
No, but I do want to ask the ladies another question, and maybe as far as maybe some feedback you guys can be giving back, as far as maybe what are some of the day-to-day challenges that you guys deal with when you guys are either, you know,
Okay.
home alone, you know, the men are gone, like, how are you guys managing? Because yeah, we have the sacrifice and we're leaving and we're alone, but we're also not the only ones that's alone. You know, we're leaving wives, we're leaving kids, you know, whatever the case is. So how do you guys cope and how do you guys manage day to day with that, you know, challenge versus just everything else that comes with the business?
You can go ahead, Mila. You can go.
I think
How have you adapted?
for me, I've adapted. I had to condition my mind again, going back to that ultimate goal and knowing my goal. My goal is to be able to have you set up where you're regional and you go out as you please. You know what I mean? Like we don't the need to go out is not there. Like we're so financially set up and the company is so set up where
I'll go out casually.
He goes out casually to maintain it, but it's not something where he needs to be
get some
hustling 3 times a week. You get what I'm saying? Being out there 3 times a week, 2 times a week, because it gets mentally draining. Even though I have a very good, I can be very introverted, just like I can be extroverted. So when I'm alone, I'm in my introverted hustling mode, and I'm just creating.
You're like Tim gone. I'm in peace.
I'm on creative. I go into creative mode. You know what I mean? So I'm just creating, whether it's documents for the company, creating ideas of things that I want our business to be. So
that's good. So you're using that and you're channeling it into something positive instead of just being home
depressed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not really wanting to get things done because at the end of the day, the other half is just not there. So that's
exactly.
Yeah, and I understand that as well. That's kind of how I am as well. When he's over the road, you know, we have two different businesses, so I still have to. I'm still working on the trucking business, and I'm working on the dispatching business.
So this is a little personal question. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but as far as with me being alone, we kind of communicate all day. I know you guys said that sometimes you know when he's busy or whatever. Total opposite with us.
Even when I'm loading, I got the headset
on. He got the headphones on. I'm talking. If I call on the load, I hang up real fast. Call back. You know what I'm saying? So that helps with us though, because just like you guys, we've been connected at the hip for a very long time.
Since college,
always together, day in, day out. So with him being away and me being here, it was hard, you know, that change, that adjustment. And we get through it basically on the phone. That's how we.
Yeah. I always tell him when I'm driving, it kind of feel like somebody there.
Yeah.
But just like I tell Sam too, you know, one of the biggest things women look for when finding a man is having that security. So not being there sometimes do kill me on my mental. Like, you know, I know I'm not there to protect her if anything happened, but I just got to pray everything's good. And I come home safely and everything's right at the house. You know what I mean?
It's very easy to get into that catastrophic mindset and it's like you constantly have to continue to nourish your mind to be like everything is good, you know. And again, also be prepared for the worst because God forbid anything can happen, you know, have life insurance and everything in place as far as documents. That's one conversation that we were having yesterday where he's like, babe, if something happens to you, I wouldn't know any of the documents. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. So I said,
find that time to kind of.
So I was teaching him one thing that we do real quick is all of my documents for our business. I can access them from any device, right? So if you have an Apple phone, you know, it's or iCloud, you can use files and you can transfer them to your computer, to your iPad, and I can easily share a complete file with him. Nice. That's what I did. I just share all the files with him. And now, you know, if I need to fill a carrier packet, you know, everything is on the phone. If I'm on the road, if I'm gonna have my iPad, I can do everything on my iPad. So being able to set up a system where everything is like synchronized, have everything back in, you know, like backdated on your Google Drive and on your iCloud, just in case anything happens.
Yeah, because I mean,
digitize. Digital.
Yeah.
Did you say you had a personal question, Mila?
Yeah, I meant to ask because I noticed you guys have 2 companies. So you guys decided to separate your dispatching and your trucking company.
We did. And really, we thought about putting them together, but really, as far as with taxes, they said it may be good to just let the file as an S corp, and you know that way we can write right off our
Salary.
salary. Good God. Yeah.
Mm.
So they said it may be smarter to do it that way.
Yeah.
I have thought about just
And we kind of wanted to separate everything.
everything.
Have it
Yeah.
all
Well,
set.
yeah, that goes back to putting all your eggs in one basket. Like you got your dispatch, and if that's tied in with the truck, and if something goes down with the trucking, then
Exactly.
there goes the dispatch.
You know,
as
you
well,
can always
so.
make some green with the dispatch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put Mike real quick to dispatch real quick.
Yeah, he good with it too now.
Hey man, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna call it sweet talking, but I know how to.
That comes with that negotiation and sales education.
And I know what a load is worth now just because I'm out there doing it. A load of pipe, yeah, it can pay $2 a mile. A 6 foot tall, 8 foot tall container that needs tarps is not gonna get the same rate. You know, I'm not finna run that for $2 a mile.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna drain more fuel. I'm gonna spend more time out there prepping the tarp, take the tarps off, roll the tarps up, because a lot of people don't understand that's about the worst part, having to roll them tarp back up and put them back on your trailer, depending on if they the 4 foot drops or the 6 foot drops.
Right.
Them 6 are just a straight up nightmare. So
Yeah.
like I said, I know my worth when I'm out here, and I'm pretty sure her being out there earning that 10% when she was out there, she knows what a load is worth too now. So if she called me with a load like it's fixed, it's 7 feet high, it needs tarp, and the rate 215, 220 miles, she already know I'm not taking.
I'll be honest, my worst carrier.
Yep.
Yeah, I know my worth. Though, you know
I mean,
what
I don't want to say too much.
I get it because the frustration of being on the board sometimes.
I'm so frustrated. Why don't you just take it?
I'm not taking it.
Yeah.
No, it's got a tarp. I'm like, okay, now you CDL. Now you got.
It's not even.
Well, they're too good for the tarps now.
Tarp. It's just that, right?
You even wanted the tarp lately either, have you?
Nah,
man, I ain't.
No.
I probably done had like one tarp load in the past, like 2
I'm
months.
about to demote myself from that tarp king, man, because since I transitioned to the own authority, I'm not doing as much tarping.
Yeah,
and it's not by it. I mean, it hasn't been really by choice. The loads we've just been getting is, not been requiring tarp.
Winter time is tarp time, so it's not a lot of rust and snow and stuff like that. So
yeah. Going back to the comments, man. O'Gara transport. We'll probably do another 10 minutes, man. 10, maybe 15 at the most. Get some of these questions answered.
Hey, man, I've been enjoying the live though, man. I've been enjoying this.
No, definitely, man. Definitely. Do you see the loads paying more with fuel prices?
No.
Not really.
No,
not at all.
Nah, they about the same.
Yeah.
And one thing I have seen, some brokers will add what is called a fuel charge.
A fuel
Fuel
surcharge.
surcharge.
But a lot of them don't do it. So they're probably charging the customer.
The shipper for it,
but they're not really putting it in that
They
rate
don't give a
card.
shit about it.
Exactly.
And they don't care about none of that. St. Nichols, it's cool that you guys choose Ram instead of other trucks all day. I call Ram Misha and she's the best. And she's the best.
I like that.
Okay. Water. I'm not sure. This must have been another conversation in the
Grocery
store.
in the what do you call it? Chat.
Okay.
Let's see here. Mac, what made you guys want to get chassis truck instead of a truck with a bed? So to be honest with you, at the time, the idea of a step deck to me always was, if I'm doing hotshot, that's kind of the lane I wanted to tap into. But to be honest with you, man, the price point between the cab chassis and a pickup, it was almost like the cab chassis was more affordable. We're seeing dualies 3,500s for 80, 90K.
Yep.
We're seeing, 5,500 or 4,500 for 65, 70,000. So it only made.
I had asked you about that too, bro. That Lamborghini was 75.
Yeah, man. So
you got that for 62?
I got mine for 69.
69.
Yeah.
So.
So, and I still got to do my video on that, y'all. I'm gonna put a video kind of just showing more the truck and the setup, so to speak. But yeah, that's kind of why I went with that decision. And then, just having it registered as a tractor, it eliminates that 65-foot leg.
Yeah, you got 75 now.
Yep. So Midwest Hotshots. My authority is 2 years old. I started Hotshot 2020. Just bought a semi. Insurance is $4K a month with only.
Good Lord,
man.
Hey, at least do you have it? Well, yeah, you got your CDL. It really depends on how long you had your CDL. That premium price they say usually goes off of experience once you got that CDL. How long have you had it?
Somebody's asking, will you consider dispatching to 3-car haulers? So for me, per se, right now, I don't dispatch for car hauling because it's a special lane,
It's
and
niche.
you have to be very strategic. It's not something I would like to tap in. My niche, which is flatbed. Like I just want to focus on
And if
flatbeds
anything, we'll
and
be
General freight.
that
Yeah.
oversized.
I'm not sure
yeah.
about you guys. Are you guys?
Yeah, same thing. Not really with the car haulers for the same reason. It's very niche.
Yeah, and then with the car haul, I mean, there are set rates, right? I mean, you can't go on Central Dispatch and make your rate, or
I mean, you can
know, right?
negotiate your rate on Central Dispatch. I've negotiated rates there. I do see in Central Dispatches there's a lot of double brokering on Central. One, and two, it's like the cost of vehicles, which you can make decent money depending on the car.
You've got to be able to load them up.
You got to load them up, but it's like, okay, I found a car for, let's say, 60, 70 cents. Then the other car is paying 75 cents. And the other car is paying $1. But it's like the time that you have to spend to look on the load.
Exactly. It's just like partials.
Together. Yeah. But piecing 3 to 6 cars, or sometimes, they'll throw 3 cars for $2 a mile. And I'm like, that's super low.
Probably not worth it.
That 50, 60 cents a mile.
Yeah, it takes a lot of strategy. It's just not something I would like to tap in right now.
Yeah.
Henry says, Big Six. No, I just gave his name out. God damn, my bad, Henry. Cooking on the cooking on the road is good and it saves you money and it's fun. Yeah, y'all go check out his.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
Yeah.
At least with especially like breakfast.
Yeah, sometimes that's don't be the mood. All right, what load board do y'all use?
Truck stop DAT.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I feel like
that's a standard.
Industry standards at this point.
But if you have to choose one due to financial, I would say go definitely with.
I'll be on truck stop.
We have.
How y'all feel?
On DAT, bro. I don't like. Look, this is why though. This
you
is
like
why.
DAT better?
I only like it because of me personally. Mobile.
It's easier. He likes
it's easier to navigate because I was a computer science major, and I feel like Truck Stop did a horrible job with like simple navigation and going through the app. I feel like I shouldn't have problems on how.
They have?
Say again.
They got a new app.
Yeah, you talking about Truck Stop Mobile?
Yeah, I think so. They have 2 apps. I have both.
Okay, it may be another app, but the one that I was on was just got off.
It's Truck Stop Go. I don't even use it.
Yes, Truck Stop Go. You got.
But Truck Stop most definitely though it will have more hotshot freight available. You know, I just
more LTL.
If I'm just on my phone looking for freight though, I kind of like the Trucker's Edge on DAT just because it's so easy to navigate. It's just simple.
You're talking about self-dispatching, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now she's gonna always have both.
I have both. Yeah.
But I just like DAT. So simple.
But got to stay away from that darn Bojangles. I've never had Bojangles. You've never had that either, man.
I thought it wasn't
that's chicken tenders.
Chester.
Chester's disgusting.
Chester's decent.
With that.
She said it's disgusting.
Oh, it's decent. It just depends on if it's fresh.
It could have been the batch we got.
Yeah, they probably keep it there all day. That's how it be.
That's probably.
Yeah, I started April 20 and can't find anything. DQ transport. Not
you out of man. That's how.
I mean, you talking about loads? Probably. I'm not sure.
I hope not.
And you probably might not have the board set up correctly too.
Yeah, probably like I heard about that. What is it, the 17th through the 19th or something like that?
Yeah, Fred's out here though. Blitz next week, folks. Yep. Oh, I did catch on to what you were saying before we forget about it. While we were talking about the load board, guys, we do have links in our description as well. You were touching on that, right?
Yeah.
It resonated that we had to remind y'all that if you guys are looking for the boards, either myself or Mike, if you tap in with our descriptions, we got
facts.
You get 30 days of
free
load board to check it out.
Can't forget to tell them that, you know.
Yes, sir. Put them affiliates down.
Yeah, we got a couple of resources on the description, guys. We have the Clubhouse. If you guys not familiar, we haven't tapped in it, but it's a good resource to have conversations with other hotshots in the industry. And
we got to get back into it.
Yeah, and we also have a Facebook group which is called Hotshot Trucking and Compliance. It's kind of more like a close group. I try to keep it a little bit more on the close because I know a lot of these hotshot trucking groups are super toxic. And honestly, I'm trying to keep it as friendly as possible, where no question is silly. Just ask the question because you have to remember we all started somewhere.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do this. We got about 11 minutes till 6 or else 7 o'clock y'all time. So we're gonna shut down at that time. I'm trying to get through some of these comments. I know we're enjoying
that's cool. We just answer at this point.
Yeah, I know we're enjoying the conversation that we're having. It's dope, but I'm gonna just go through and probably just pick out some of the most general questions that we feel like will help. The answer would help everybody out or others as well.
Yeah, so, man, bro, talking about I look like 50 Cent. It's ridiculous. I gotta stop that.
My first week, I took 4 loads and made 4,100. I was only told no twice due to a young authority. I had to turn down work because I was already on the road. I didn't negotiate at all.
That's good then.
That's good.
Just really depends on the mileage for them loads, but hopefully it's pretty decent.
I see that brokerage a lot.
It's so weird. Why the heck do they post it for flatbed hotshot? They don't.
DSV?
Yeah, they posted on flatbed hotshot, especially in Georgia.
They don't like hotshot.
It's so dumb to me.
I like light loads on my trailer. Henry says
same.
Sometimes it requires dock height as well. So I'm gonna start picking and choosing, man, on some of these. All right. So how far are you willing to deadhead to pick up a load if it's not in your area?
Very much 200.
Yeah, but it also depends. Like if I'm being paid for that mileage, if the road is making sense for it, I'll deadhead 500 miles.
500 miles?
I mean, if it's
just rare,
if it makes sense.
It's rare. And listen to what I'm saying. The rate has never paid that. I'm saying that I would if that duration, those mileage is being paid for.
Well, let's be realistic.
I understand that, man. Because the rate's the same.
Realistically, 200 miles is beautiful, but if they're paying me to drive over here to get this special load and it's been accounted for.
Don't even say 500. You'll be driving all day before you get to that load. So
open that
day. I'm exaggerating a bit.
I know. I'm messing with
200 miles, 300 miles. If it's worse,
he's saying how much ever is that's paying the rate that he needs
for that deadhead, I'm gonna go.
Facts.
If I'm moving to get to a better area, if I'm in a dead zone, then of course I'm gonna consider I'm not gonna go crazy in a deadhead.
Yeah.
But shit, I've known people that has deadhead at home.
Yeah. Deadhead home all the time, bro. You got to
500
sometimes.
Miles. And it just comes down to depending on your base, where you're at, where did your dispatcher put you? I've heard people saying that they had to do those type of miles. But as far as us, like I said, man, if it pays, we moving. But yeah, I've never had to do that though. I've had my own box truck. I have my own box truck. You're right. People probably sitting there watching this like, whoa, 500 miles. I have my own box truck. Right.
They're about to open that head up, man.
Yeah, DSV have it loads 25 to 38K, but they don't like to give the hot shot.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you that they'll give it to them flatbeds for $4 or $5 a mile. You know what I mean?
Don't say you have a hot shot. Don't hear it from me.
All right,
don't ask, don't tell.
Hotshot Strong says, my opinion is that people need to take the time to do a lot of research before coming into the game.
That's true.
Look for information is the most people. Lack of information is the most people downfall. Proper preparation prevent poor performance. Facts. Appreciate that comment, man. Trucking up. I'm running a single axle with a 53-foot Goose converted step deck, so I get to skate by the no hotshot brokers and the money game they try to play.
Dang, bro, you running a big boy. I seen one of them the other days. It's becoming more popular.
Yeah. Hotshot Strong again. I have a 25 plus 5, and I ain't having no problems out here staying loaded. New authorities need to take the time to call brokers and request carrier package before thinking about pulling a load.
That's a good
that helps
a lot too.
Being set up with those brokers and knowing, having those resources at the end of the day. Saint Nickel, when I get my CDL, I'm gonna get my single axle Ford F750 with the tandem dually trailer. That's what's up. I'm out here doing a restart. What's good? Let's cook it up. Whoever out there with big sets, go cook it up, man. Oh, so Fritz said that. Mike looking like Fritz always trolling on somebody, man. But I like how you keep it real. When you run non-CDL, do you still need DOT and MC? And what else you need? Just asking.
That's a whole nother.
Critter. So yes, you want to answer?
Go ahead. You start.
Yeah, I mean, you need both DOT and MC if you're going to be interstate.
Yeah, because DOT is just for
intrastate.
Intrastate. Anything over 10,000 gross vehicle weight. So you could be having a lawn care service and still need to run DOT numbers.
Right. So as far as what else you need, I mean, I'm sorry, we won't be able to kind of tap into all that because there's a lot. We offer consultations. So does Mike. So, whoever you resonate with, feel free to, chop it up. One-time transfers. Talk about leasing onto your authority. What to look for, good or bad. Talk about leasing onto your authority. What to look for, good or bad. You understand the question?
To y'all's authority or others?
I think in general, I think they're just saying as far as looking, if you're leasing on, whether it goes.
Okay.
If you're as a business owner, if we were to hire any owner, one of the things that I look for, one of the requirements that we have is you must have at least 6 months of cargo securement. Have your own equipment, truck and trailer, preferably if you're a non CDL, a single wheel, with a 40-foot. Then what is it? 30-foot that we decided?
I'm between 30 and 32 foot to 40.
Right. If you're CDL, definitely a 40-foot. Those are some of the things that we look into.
Yeah, you're pretty much just looking for people that's going to align with your business and your business model. You guys operate. And that goes down to, your dispatcher. What are they familiar with? Equipment type and things like that. You don't want to just start leasing on, trucks and people when, their setup or their mindset or whatever it is doesn't really align with what you guys have already been doing.
Yeah.
So, but there's definitely some things to look into and consider when leasing on. But yeah, let's see. Trying to pick and choose some of these comments, man, because there's a lot of them. If y'all see any, man, just point it out. If y'all see any, can you guys see the comments?
Yeah, I can see them on here.
On the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. And even if I don't bring it up to the top, man, if you guys see something that stands out, that's a good question. It'd be good to get back to then, point it out.
I do say your company should merge.
Whose company is ours?
Yeah. Unless he was talking about
it was only that easy.
Oh no, I think he was talking about that.
Big Six. You can request the broker what the customer pay, but then they may hang up on you and block you as well. Jacob says, I'm a 22-year-old leased on CDL owner operator. What are a few things that separate the winners and losers in this game?
Mindset.
Mindset, and a lot of it is willing to do what others won't do as well.
Yeah, dedication.
Mac on another level with them OD loads, man.
I love them challenges, man, and I see others. There's a lot of, and that's the thing, man. Even with everything that we do, you do. Like I try to remind people, like, a lot of other people are doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just having that mindset and taking on those challenges, and that in order to kind of just move to the next level. Like a goal that we have is heavy hauling. So these are just baby steps. With what we're doing now to actually get to that point later on. So
that's a beast of a freaking market.
You gave them some
sauce.
A little bit of
a little crumb. Okay.
I mean, you say we special.
If they stay this long, they deserve it. It's good.
Yeah.
Everybody cannot stomach stuff to do stuff.
We never
get off that topic, but that makes sense though. That makes sense.
Heavy hauling, oversized loads.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, not too much.
Not too much.
I love it.
But yeah, man. Hope we answered that question for you.
Talk about taxes. Somebody says, not a CPA. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just have you can still kind of talk on certain things you can do to prepare yourself for that CPA.
I mean, the most important thing I would say is just making sure you have some kind of system for bookkeeping, such as QuickBooks, or have somebody that can manage your profit and loss on the monthly basis, so that way you understand how you're operating. So that way at the end of the year, or if you do your taxes on the quarterly basis, you're just able to provide them with the profit and loss.
That's true.
I agree.
And definitely
that's something we didn't do.
Bro.
We're still working on that. That's something that we're doing now. We didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
But we're doing it this year.
Because you're going to be paying unnecessary money.
All right, let us see. It's been a blessing and graciously an honor to have learned the business from y'all, Mr. and Mrs. Hotshot Mac. We've been watching since the beginning. We moved from NC to San Antonio for a better opportunity.
That's what's
Sanchez, that's what's up, man. Glad we've been able to have that impact. And
tell Paulino, what's up, girl?
Robert says, Mac, how do you find all them oversized loads in Florida? I live in North Florida.
That's a contact.
Yeah, but I mean, originally though, it was just really on the load board, man, just paying attention, and sometimes you gotta click on some of those descriptions and see what, then you'll notice, oh, it's an OD load, or, it may not just show it at the forefront, but when you look further in, you get the dimensions and make the calls. And then and not even to boast or anything, but when we did the first load, if you guys seen the load I did with AAA Freight Movers, when we took it from, we took those duct panels from Florida to Louisiana, we got there, and there's a guy, he came over with the Polo. You got the construction guys, you got the guys offloading and stuff. And the guy was like, y'all brought that here? And, it was two of us, we had it, decked out with the overside. So they're not used to seeing Hotshots doing something like that. So they were like, man, that's what's up, man. We appreciate y'all getting it here safe. And that goes back to Hotshots have this look on them, whereas, maybe can't, they don't do as well as, a flatbed operator or someone with a CDL, can do. And at the time, I didn't have, I don't know if I think I had a CDL, but I was still running my non CDL. So it just goes to show, like,
they're never familiar on what we can scale either. Like that, I done had some dudes try to throw some more weight on mine. And of course they paid more for it, but they were just like, bro, we need more weight on there. You know what I mean? But we can pay a little bit more too.
Yeah, and it just goes back to that as well, because when we went ahead and picked up this last 15 and a half, they remembered us and like, man, I'm trying to tell, I guess, the broker or whoever, our contact. It's like, man, they don't need to use anybody else. I wish they can just use y'all all the time. And I was like, man, if we were here all the time, and if we, could provide that scale, then that'll be dope. But presenting yourself and your business, that's down to your truck being clean. That's down to you with the proper attire, whatever they require, whether it's boots, a vest, just having that appearance and, being able to present that goes a long way when it comes to making those relationships and people reaching back
also out. If you're running oversized load, not just jumping in and knowing what you're doing, like you really have to understand what oversized load, whether it's with securement, whether it's with the permits, how to properly get the permits, how to if you need pilots, learning the requirements, because each state is completely different. The requirements of each state is going to be based on that state, right? So you have to really understand when you're, let's say you pick up a load from Florida to let's say Louisiana, like that particular load. One thing that we did learn now, that load, now the insurance requirements on that state change. So up to date with everything that's happening, and
and things maybe not even change for us. It may change for the pilots. So it's just having conversations and definitely being aware.
That's another business you can get in that pilot industry.
I've been looking at it.
Yeah. You're paying like $1.60 a mile just for them folks to, you know what I mean? All they paying for is gas.
Listen, I was speaking to these pilots for short runs. If it's a short run less than 200, 200 miles, they charge $500 for a short run.
That's good for gas, man.
That means it's a round trip. You have to think about it, right? So, if you're doing long runs, there's a lot of things that you have to consider because you're only paying one way. You don't pay the back haul for them. But as a carrier, you got to pay their hotels if they're got to stay overnight. If they're delayed unloading them and offloading them, you got to pay them an hour. Whatever they charge, they have their own price sheet. But those are all things that you have to be aware, because you don't want to be caught in a situation and then it's like the broker don't want to pay you no money. I'm like, hey, I have two pilots in here that I'm responsible for.
Exactly.
You gotta pay detention for them too. So
what you guys think about that? I've had 400 miles for a low paying 6,100 for 400.
Sound like you right, man. Hey, man. That's some good money.
Yeah. So let me go.
No matter what type of equipment, that's pretty good money.
There's a ton here, man. Detour Transport. When you run CDL, DOT, and MC, do you need commercial plates, or do you need commercial plates and trailer plates when you run CDL?
I can't even run that.
Well, yeah. If you're a CDL operator, you're gonna need
portion plates.
You're gonna need a portion.
Yeah, 40K probably.
Depending on where you're at, as far as the trailer plates, I've heard of a token plate, but we did everything through Maine, which is already. That's a whole nother, yeah. So just speak to your local, I guess, what is it? Tax office or DMV and things like that.
Don't cost money.
Yeah, but depending on the state, sometimes the taxes could be a little bit crazy for trailers. So I'll give a little nugget for those that are still here. We register our trailer in Maine. For 5 years, I paid
I heard about that.
$103 for 5 year registration.
Yeah.
And the thing about that, which I liked, is like not like the address. One thing, because we're in social media, we try to protect your address because you probably not sure if it's happened to you guys, but people be Googling you and looking up your authority and trying to find your address and your phone number. You ain't gonna be popping up my house. You're gonna pull up. You can go ahead and do that if you want.
Yeah.
But people are funny like that. People be randomly trying to call like the business.
They're weird. Want to look up how many inspections you got and stuff like that. It's a lot of weird people like that.
Like, what the hell? Mind your own damn business. Like, what's the DOTFC number?
Listen, people right now are just trying to look for information as any way they can, trying to get help any way they can. So, and they be trying to use their resources.
You ever had no random people calling you, Mike?
Oh yeah. Oh, no, not like that. No. I'm talking about like keep trucking and crap like that.
No, I'm talking about like subscribers.
Oh no.
Okay, well, embrace yourself.
You get emails.
Macc, are y'all thinking about getting into big rigs? Yeah, some point down the line we are. I think I kind of touched on that, man. But yo, it's 6:05, guys. We've been on here for 2 hours. I'd love to get to all these comments, man, and just answer them all.
Look at
T3 Phil. What up, Phil? Yeah, what's going on, everybody?
We just try to schedule one another time. We'll get some time.
Yeah, we should definitely do this again, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
It definitely
probably gonna have to bring the Macc over to my channel.
First time and like
no, I'm a
natural.
Look, I'll be on his channel now. We already been talking about it. It was gonna be a little surprise or whatever, but you're gonna see. Y'all gonna see me
like you do this. Like she does this, Mike.
Yeah, she can do it.
I got one last good one here. I think we'll touch on, man, to help anyone that's out there or just getting out on the road and things like that. And it's pretty much what's advice y'all have for this next week on DOT Blitz, Boston. What's the key to get direct contacts because rates are not that good. So the last one, as far as and I'll touch on the first one. Key to getting direct contacts. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a solid answer for you for that.
Really, just selling yourself, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
it's marketing.
Go ahead, babe. Give me the answer.
Marketing. Make sure that your company, you have a good company profile. So creating a company profile might be a good thing. Start creating a shippers list. Whoever from your home. Who are the people that you're picking up on the consistent basis? So start creating a list of people that you're seeing. Okay, this shipper has this. I picked up this from, and then just scoop around. You know what I mean? Let's say for us from Houston, right? Let's just say Tim goes to this particular pipe here. It hasn't happened where we go to the same place more than once yet. However, recognizing and being aware where you're going and where is it located. Are they paying good? And then just start either making a mental note or start taking actual notes and creating a list where you can, when you have time, you can sit down and you can research and find out. One big tip that I'm learning and I'm trying to tap into is LinkedIn. I can't even pronounce LinkedIn. I created a company profile there and I'm actually networking. I try to network with the people that handle the loads and things like that from companies, whether it's shippers, whether it's big broker companies, and trying to create relationships, and then all you got to do is just kind of throw your carrier profile, because I don't do a regular carrier packet. I have a souped up carrier profile with, what services we offer, pictures of our equipment and things like that. And then, that's what I'm trying to do and put it in.
You're doing it, girl. You were doing it.
I don't have the full time.
Slow down. Yeah. Do a lot.
But basically,
one thing that I can say, I kind of said it earlier though, is looking for let me give you an example. If he's already on a load in South Carolina and I'm looking to get him out of there, I also have home base on the load board as well for the whole week.
Okay, that's a good point.
So I'm constantly looking to see what's coming out. Okay, I've never seen this brokerage post this low. Oh, hey, I have seen them post this low multiple times. Let me write this down.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
The main time, 9 times out of 10, it'd be TQL, so I don't even pay it no mind. Well, a lot of the times it be, man, them containers, bro, they be trying to ship them out so cheap, depending on where they coming out from.
Yeah, they do.
I haven't pulled a TQL, Hotshot TQL though.
Yeah,
this whole time.
As far as what advice y'all have for this next week DOT Blitz, man, it's just pretty much just making everything you have, everything is up to par, man. You're doing your pre-trip, your maintenance report, and then think about the compliance as well. How you've been doing your maintenance reports. Have you been doing the necessary things to just make sure the hours of service that your logs are clean, that you're showing that you're operating safe.
Yeah,
you're not really, trying to cut certain corners because it'll catch up to you.
Just securing as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
If you guys are in the Facebook group, I actually I think 2 days ago, I posted a roadside inspection guide on some of the things that they're looking for. And also I have a list of, it talks about the 2021 roadside inspection driver violations. The number one violation, which has the most severity against points against your authority, is false logs. So if they're not tracking up those hours of service, they're definitely tracking into us, especially this week, right? So no ELD when the ELD is required. A lot of hotshots don't really understand that it is required if you're operating a commercial vehicle that you do have to operate with some type of ELD device, which is an electronic logging device.
Exactly.
The other
thing bases on the year of your equipment as well. I think the engine. So if you got something old enough.
I was just going to talk, there's 3 other severities. So driving after the 14 hours, that's another of the highest severity that could affect your authority, taking 7 points as well. Driving beyond 11 hours. So if you really think about it, everything really has to do with the hours of service. And then the other one is no record of duty status when one is required. So being on duty, when on duty, being off duty, when off duty. So those are the 4 that have the highest points that take away, and they all have to do with hours of service.
Yeah,
it's good to know.
All right, well, Mike over there yawning, man. We gotta let him go, man.
I'm good. It is about time, though. You know what I mean?
It is about time. So, I apologize. We can't get to all.
Hey, man, I guess it's Entre Mike. Hey, man, that boy got kicked out. Dang. But make sure y'all hit up my channel at Entre Mike, man. Just ENTRE Mike. I think they camera fell, man. Let me see. We can't control the live either, so. Y'all good? Y'all got the audio on? Clint said LMAO.
We can't hear.
We can't hear you. You can hear us?
On mute. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, my fault, man.
That's why the camera broke or something.
Everything just fell off the table, bro. I wasn't even paying attention.
Dang.
But yeah, man, I forgot what I was saying. But I guess we're gonna wrap it up, man. We can't get to all the questions. We do appreciate y'all, tuning in and interacting, with myself, Mike, the wives. Anything last y'all want to say? You point out a comment like you wanted me to tap this one, babe?
No, somebody had mentioned on the main registration. But either way, if you guys have any more questions, go to the Facebook group. Make sure you guys, stay.
Be a part of
the community.
Some type of community where you're able to reach out for resources and someone that can have your back. Let me get that box real quick before this thing fall again. So. All right. But all right, y'all. Yeah, man.
I got much to say, man, but y'all got I got a lot of informational videos on my channel if y'all want to tap in. Other than that, just try to stay motivated and stay safe.
Yeah, that's good, man. Well, all right, y'all. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Mike, Maya, appreciate you guys for tapping in with us.
Yes,
appreciate y'all as well.
Hopefully I can get y'all over to my channel, man.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good conversation. So Well, until next time, y'all, everybody that's watching, appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for the next video dropping. Go check out Mike. He got a ton of stuff I got to go catch up on. So, all right, man. Love y'all. Peace. Thanks for tuning in.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, guys.
All right.